Hello and welcome to Chinese Novel Audiobook. Explore our playlist for more captivating novels, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new audiobook. Now, let's dive into today's story. Chapter 211 The Secret of Emperor Chen Zan. Open black lens bracket night. Close black lens bracket. After receiving your order, the revived Chen Zan left the Wu Palace like a wandering soul and began to wander around the imperial capital, attacking the kings. When the kings saw their second brother suddenly appear, they were almost scared to death. Closing square bracket. But the weird thing is that although the attack was an attack, Chen Zan just appeared, scared them, and then disappeared without a sound. Only the Jiyu family, the traitor, was exterminated. Instantly, countless rumors began to spread throughout the imperial capital, but the rumors ultimately pointed to one thing: the soul of the deposed crown prince Chen Zan had been resurrected. Then, the entire capital of Daxia was in an uproar, because the next day was the birthday banquet of the old emperor. The appearance of Chen Zan, now, could it be that he came for revenge? Oh no. Second brother is filled with resentment and has returned to seek revenge on Lao Deng. Second brother, every wrong has its perpetrator. You can seek revenge on that old immortal. We brothers have no grudges against you, blood is thicker than water. Second brother, my fourth brother has a bad heart. Don't scare me in the middle of the night. Father has a good heart. Go talk to him and say something from the bottom of your heart. In a side hall of the Great Xia Palace, on the altar, the sleeping dead head suddenly opened its eyes, and jumped up and down as if it had sensed something. It tried its best to jump out of the altar, but was blocked by a blood-colored mist and could not leave. It was trapped in the same place and could not move. But even so, it did not stop, but became even crazier. After waiting for so many years, I finally sensed the breath of my physical body again. As long as I find my physical body, I can be resurrected. My body, let go, let me out. Crack. The dead head's actions were quickly sensed by the human emperor Chen Zan in the Xuanwu Palace, and a look of joy immediately appeared on his face. Finally appeared. After taking over another body, I have never been able to complete it. Instead, the obsession and backup plan of that old immortal body interfered with my soul memory, causing me to maintain this appearance. Sometimes I can't tell whether I am Chen Yin or Chen Zan. Even the original body has given birth to a new spiritual intelligence out of thin air, lost control, and was hidden by Yang Hong, who refused to hand it over. Now, as long as the body can be retrieved and made into a powerful medicine to swallow, the hidden danger can be eliminated and the mission will be accomplished. However, despite his excitement, Emperor Lao Deng soon calmed down and noticed something was going on. The appearance of this body seems a little too coincidental. But at the moment, he could sense that Yang Hong, who was in the south, in the 10,000 mountains, the hidden dragon land, did not seem to be making any moves and was still very honest, unlike the other party who was making plans behind the scenes. It seems that there is a new chess player in the imperial capital who wants to compete with me. So this is why Lao Deng has been maintaining the old man emperor, and it is also the source of his strength. However, this guy also has a lot of problems. Quote. First, there are problems with my body and soul, and then there is the backlash of the Supreme Emperor Bone. I am not afraid of blowing myself up. Looking at this scene, Lu Qian was also a little shocked. The black-hearted Lao Deng really knows how to play. He could actually make it like this. The body was stolen from my biological father. The emperor's body was created by devouring his son's marrow and blood. The only thing left on his body that remains original is his soul. But there is still some problem: it is suspected to be contaminated. This is simply the ultimate stitching monster. He relies on his parents for support and his children for support. But this old thing was able to suppress all the side effects until now, and still remains so powerful. I have to say, I really admire you. Open black lens bracket Prince Wu's palace. Close black lens bracket. While you were watching the situation, Liu Ruyue also appeared. Closing square bracket. Lu Qian, this is information about the overseas Jinsha kingdom. During this period of time, I have roughly grasped the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion and sent forces overseas to collect the information you need. Liu Ruyue has sent you the information you need about the Kingdom of Sands, laying a good foundation for your next trip overseas. During this period, she seemed to be enlightened by the mysterious sword spirit in her body, understood some things, and mastered the ever-changing power through the heavenly demon stone, replaced Yangshu's identity, and controlled the intelligence network of the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion. By the way, if you really want to go to the Great Xia Palace, you need to be careful. The insiders of the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion in the palace are all concubine Chu's people. I dare not mobilize them easily, otherwise, she will easily find out. That woman is not simple. Master has never been able to defeat her in all these years. Looking at you transforming into Chen Tai, she seemed to have guessed your intention to enter the palace and could not help but remind you. You just nodded and asked Liu Ruyue to prepare for the response outside. There are only 3 hours left until tomorrow's birthday banquet for the old emperor. You are going to take this opportunity to enter the Great Xia Palace under the appearance of Chen Tai and look for the treasure left by Zan Fuzzy that can lead to immortality. Right now, in the entire imperial capital, the only one who can enter the Great Xia Palace in the middle of the night is you, the beloved sixth prince. You wore Chen Tai's face and swaggered to the gate of Daxia Palace, and shouted to the guards from a distance, "You are blind, why don't you open the door quickly? I have something to see my father." Oh no. The king of complaints has arrived. Open the city gates quickly. It's too late before he can tell you everything in front of your majesty. Open black lens bracket crash. Close black lens bracket. Before you get close, the tightly closed palace gate in front of you suddenly opens up a gap wide enough for 2 people. Seeing that it was you, the king of complaints, who had come, the guards in charge of the palace gates did not dare to slack off. When they saw you from afar, they immediately opened the door, fearing that they would offend you. Everyone knows that you, the king of complaints, run to the palace 4 times a day, more frequently than going to the toilet. 9 out of 10 times you come here to complain, and once to inquire about the result of the complaint. Last time, someone opened the door slowly, causing you to get in trouble. After you complained, you were conveniently assigned to be a missile zero distance observer. Your Majesty, the King of Wu, I am here. An old slave figure rushed over from a distance, with a chrysanthemum-like smile on his face. Chapter 212. You saw the future, you died. The old eunuch who came running over was named Eunuch Hai. He was the one who secretly relied on you over the years. Every time you reported someone, he was responsible for leading the way for you. Although he doesn't know why you came without saying hello this time, this does not prevent him from being extremely respectful to you, the prince who is very likely to become the future emperor. Your Highness, King Wu, I am here to lead the way for you. Led by Eunuch Hai, you swagger into the magnificent Daxia Palace. The first thing that catches your eye is the ancient building that contains a sense of technology and a long history, the guards wearing heavy armor, and the half-human, half-mechanical technological puppets. It feels a bit like a cyber cultivation. Although the Great Xia Empire is in the era of modern technology, it is different from other countries overseas. Its own extraordinary factors almost overwhelm its technological power. The entire Great Xia Palace is extremely grand and is divided into 2 cities, the inner and outer cities. At this moment, you are still in the outer city. You need to enter the inner city to truly enter the core and meet the Lord of Great Xia. Suddenly, you noticed that there were blonde and blue-eyed figures waiting not far away, surrounded by a team of guards. You didn't know what they were doing. Who are those people? Your Highness, King Wu, those are envoys from overseas countries who came to celebrate your birthday. They are now being verified by the magic mirror to confirm that their identities are correct and there are no assassins. Prince Hai explained. Hearing this, you were somewhat stunned, but when you were about to look away, you happened to meet a pair of strange and lively eyes. Suddenly, a golden warning flashed in your mind, and a bad premonition instantly surged into your heart. She was a charming and hot woman wearing a black veil. Although her true face could not be seen, she gave people endless mystery and temptation, as if she was a princess from a small overseas country who came to celebrate her birthday. Open black lens bracket swish. Close black lens bracket. A hint of lust appeared in your eyes, but after you looked away, your pupils suddenly shrank and you felt a chill in your heart, because just now, your emperor's eyes had seen through the true face of that enchanting and hot woman. Empress Weird Eyes, why is she here? This time, you didn't contact Su Mei from beginning to end, because you knew that Lizi's personality was taboo and weird, and it was not easy to fool her. If you were not careful, you would be easily attacked. But now, why is the other party here? Also, the one next to her is Su Mei, what is she doing here? At this moment, you already have a bad feeling. How could these two appear in the Great Xia Palace, and in this way? Isn't it coming for you? Eunuch Hai, what are the origins of those two people? You looked away and spoke casually. Closing square bracket. Your Highness, King Wu, those two seem to be princesses from a small country overseas called the Shadow Moon Kingdom. They are said to be twins. Shadow Moon Kingdom, there is no such overseas kingdom at all. During the previous villain simulations, did you remember the overseas countries that came to celebrate the birthday? Is it fabricated by changing cognition through mental illusion? It fits the style of the queen with strange eyes. Click. Click. Suddenly, the heavenly blessing in your mind cracked again, and turned into a faint golden light, pouring into your eyes. The next moment, you felt a sharp pain coming from the Emperor's eyes, almost making you scream. At this moment, everything you see in front of you is like a broken mirror, falling away bit by bit, and your mind enters into endless darkness. You saw a fragment of the future again. The magnificent and vast Great Xia Palace has been reduced to ruins, corpses are everywhere, blood is irrigating the earth, and the wind is howling, like a demon. Liu Ruyue was pierced through the chest by a long sword. He fell to the ground, dying, with a face full of grief and anger. Yi Cheng is half kneeling on the ground, holding the blood knife in his right hand. His left hand is missing, as if he has been severely injured. His eyes are bloodshot and trembling. He wants to move forward. Before her, there was a mutilated headless corpse, with a strong aura still remaining on it. There was a big hole in its chest, as if it had been pierced from behind by a sharp weapon. In its hand was a broken immortal weapon, the soul-devouring demon slayer sword. That is, your corpse. In the sky above, a series of monsters, whose faces cannot be seen, seemed to be laughing sharply. A piece of bone-emitting golden light was held by a rotten and festering hand, which gradually covered up the light and made it dim. A strange figure that looked like a goddess of shadows had an evil smile on its face, blood was visible between its teeth, and in its hands was a head without eyes. The head seemed to still have an expression of disbelief as it looked at a certain figure. That is, your head. Bang! The future is broken. Heavenly official's blessing was also completely shattered and turned into ashes. You regained your consciousness, but it seems like you can't come back to your senses for a long time. You almost broke out in a cold sweat on your back, and your hair stood on end. Damn it. This is a trap set against you. The Queen of Weird Eyes is coming for you. It is very likely that Lao Deng has made some kind of deal with her again. The Great Xia Palace is now covered with a net, waiting for you to come in and catch the turtle in the jar. But how would they know you were coming, unless they had the means to predict the future? Eye of the Sky. It's Chen Zhan's sage talent. He saw me appearing in the Great Xia Palace, and purposely set up this killing plan for me. You seem to understand everything. I seem to have underestimated Chen Zhan. It is not that simple for him to reach his current position. But it seems too late, because you are already deeply involved in the game. The other party has already made the next move, set up a dragon-slaying trap, and surrounded you, the big dragon. Supreme Mode. On. Your mind instantly entered an extremely calm state, showing no abnormality. Are you setting up a killing plan specifically for me? That's really a big deal, old man. But I haven't lost this game of chess yet. I have seen the future. After the birthday banquet, send them both to my palace. You can feel a faint sense of being watched at this moment. It is obvious that the other party has noticed it, so you deliberately put on a lustful look. I will teach them what the great power of a great nation is. Chapter 213. Stuck in a dead end, Yi Cheng reappears. Open black lens bracket close black lens bracket. This is how the might of a great nation is calculated, right? Close black lens bracket. Eunuch Hai was a little confused, and cursed inwardly that he was blinded by lust. He said with some embarrassment, Your Highness, Prince Wu, this is not good. These two are here to celebrate His Majesty's birthday. If they are discovered. Open black lens bracket, he is the one who is in trouble, close black lens bracket. What's wrong with that? They are just two women from a small barbarian country. If you don't know better, you might think they are the old man's favorite concubine. Why are you complaining so much? You pretended to be dissatisfied, and the true nature of the clown king was revealed instantly. Closing square bracket. After the birthday banquet, tell them that they are spies from an overseas enemy country. Bring them to my palace. I will interrogate them personally. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. Hey, if you keep talking nonsense, I'm going to lose my temper. I understand. Open black lens bracket among the envoys from overseas countries. Close black lens bracket. The Queen of Weird Eyes, disguised as a human princess, stares straight at you in front of her, her eyes flickering, and it's unknown what she's thinking. The beautiful face behind the black gauze reveals a strange smile, the majesty of a great country. Interesting. Next to her, Su Mei, who was also disguised as a human, was in a low mood, with a pale face and shortness of breath, just like a patient. After she was taken away by the Queen of Weird Eyes some time ago, she learned that Brother Liu was missing. She was immediately extremely anxious and could not help but talk to the Queen of Weird Eyes, expressing her hope to improve her strength as soon as possible. After that, she was arranged to undergo a bloodline awakening ceremony. Her strength improved by leaps and bounds, and now she has almost reached the 8th level of Weird Realm, comparable to the heavenly realm of the human race. However, as strength skyrocketed, there were naturally some side effects. At this moment, after Su Mei's blood in her body awakened, her body began to be unable to bear it, and her pupils also turned dark. But for her, all of this is bearable, because Sister Gutong promised to bring her to see Brother Liu. Sister Gutong, can we really find Brother Liu by coming here? Of course. The Queen of Weird Eyes smiled and gently stroked Su Mei's head. The look she gave her was filled with pity and a hint of greed. The rest of the people around them subconsciously ignored their existence and avoided them. Damn it, there's something wrong with this Queen of Weird Eyes. It seems that finding Su Mei is not the affection she imagined, but more like a conspiracy. Lu Qian looked at the contents of the villain simulator, his eyes turned cold, and he suddenly realized that he might have taken it for granted before. How could such a strange race take such a big risk to come to the Great Xia Empire for a so-called relative? There must be some kind of conspiracy. Combined with the information we got before, it is possible that the reason why the Queen of Ghost Eyes joined forces with Lao Deng and Chen Zan more than 10 years ago was to ask for Su Mei. This possibility is not impossible. Thinking about it carefully, how could Su Mei escape from the Weird Eye clan, be targeted by the human race's wrath-catching team, and even happen to enter the territory of the Great Xia Empire? There seems to be some secret hidden in this. As for Su Mei, she has been living in Da Xia all these years and has not been handed over. Either Chen Zan, the old master, didn't know where Su Mei was at the time, and was just trying to trick the Queen of Weird Eyes. Either Lao Deng Chen Zan turned his back on her and attacked her with a heavy punch, driving the Ghost Eye Queen away. But no matter what, Su Mei was obviously tricked by me. I had previously wanted to use Su Mei's connections to get in touch with the Queen of Weird Eyes, but now it seems like I'm just throwing a meat bun at a dog, and there's no way back. And that old immortal Chen Zan, besides his terrifying strength, also has this sage gift, Eye of Heaven, which can merge with the heaven, gain the power of heaven, and peek into the future. He is too much of a threat to me. If it weren't for Emperor's Eye, I'm afraid I wouldn't even know if I died. I don't know how this villain simulation will turn out. You and Eunuch Hai entered the inner city. You who have entered the game well know that you are like a prey with 1 foot halfway into the abyss. If you are not careful, you will be smashed to pieces. Closing square bracket. The Queen of Weird Eyes is most likely Lao Deng's helper. We are definitely blocked from both ends now. We are not sure we can deal with Lao Deng alone, and now there is an additional taboo and weirdness. Right now, I must find a way to survive. I hope Zan Fuzzy is not deceiving me and really has hidden something incredible. Maybe, I need a helper too. Just as you were about to take out the hunting god's skull from your body, you suddenly heard a strange noise. Open black lens bracket puff. Close black lens bracket. Suddenly, Eunuch Hai, who was leading the way and had already entered the inner city, was stabbed in the throat and died on the spot without even a scream. His body was grabbed by a hand and put into the space ring. Then, a bloody knife slashed towards your neck, almost killing you. Die, Chen Tai, UB asterisk 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 D. The assassin who took action was dressed in black, tall, with pale skin and stunning features faintly visible. Seeing this scene, you were not panicked at all, but your eyes lit up. Spare his life, Yi Cheng, we are one of us. Open black lens bracket swish. Close black lens bracket. The knife flashed for a moment, and stopped just 0.1 mm away from your neck. Assassin Yi Cheng made a slightly suppressed and doubtful sound, tilted his head, and looked at you strangely. Open black lens bracket, Chen Shi, close black lens bracket. Daxia Imperial Palace, Xuanwu Hall. Human Emperor Chen Zan was playing chess by himself. The white pieces in his hand fell, forming an ambush from all sides, almost strangling the big dragon represented by the black pieces. Dragon slaying. I'm surrounded. I need to make a bigger noise. Chen Zan, who was wandering around and avoiding the pursuit of the Imperial Observatory, suddenly stopped. A trace of determination flashed in his eyes, and the soul and spirit hidden in him had obviously made a certain decision. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket swish. Close black lens bracket. He turned around without hesitation and rushed towards the direction of the Great Xia Palace. Open black lens bracket. Explode with him. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 214. Pure Love God of War Yi Cheng, Minotaur Warrior Lu Qian. You mean, you disguised yourself as Chen Tai and entered the Daxia Palace to find Lu Qian. You suspected that he had been hiding in here or was imprisoned here. Open black lens bracket. Right. Close black lens bracket. Then, when you were preparing to hold the Emperor's birthday banquet, sneak in and fish in troubled waters. While looking for people, you can also make some money. Open black lens bracket. Right. Close black lens bracket. You have a divine eye ability, and you discovered that there is something wrong with this place. There are strange aliens roaming around the palace. You suspect that the Emperor has been contaminated by something strange. Open black lens bracket. Right. Close black lens bracket. Faced with Yi Cheng's question, you remained calm and spoke half-truthfully, just to form an alliance with him. Now, you have confirmed that you have entered the game and are about to face the siege of Laodeng Chen Zan and the Weird Queen. You know that you are definitely no match for them. The only chance of survival now is Yi Cheng in front of you. Your heavenly blessing has been broken, and there is no protection anymore. Closing square bracket. If you want to survive, you must rely on the other party's destiny. Close black lens bracket. Faced with your words, Yi Cheng raised his eyebrows and nodded, not making any comment. He didn't say whether he believed it or not, but this reaction was somewhat beyond your expectations. Your heart trembles. The other party doesn't seem to care much about what you said. You expressed your desire to cooperate, hoping to overcome the difficulties, and asked the other party's purpose of coming in. I came in to look for you, Yi Cheng said in a surprising tone. Ever since you asked me to come to the Great Xia Palace last time, I knew that you would most likely come, so I came in early to wait for you. Open black lens bracket hiss. Close black lens bracket. You feel a little tingling on your scalp. She actually guessed so accurately. Could it be that she also has the ability to predict the future? Closing square bracket. If you hadn't seen the future clips, you would probably think that Yi Cheng and Laodeng Chen Zan were in the same group. But the current situation seems a little bad. She wouldn't know anything. Seeing you fall into silence, Yi Cheng suddenly speaks again. Of course, I came here to get something. You suddenly noticed that Yi Cheng's right hand had reached behind his back without him noticing, and he seemed to be holding something. Suddenly, you were shocked. Damn it. Could it be that she was the one who stabbed me in the back in the future? Laodeng and Chen Zan were lucky enough to get a bargain. You also subconsciously reach your hand behind you. Open black lens bracket swish. Close black lens bracket. She suddenly took out a black cloth bag from behind her back. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. In front of you, she slowly opens the bag, and what comes into view is a bruised and swollen, dead head, and a golden bead. Open black lens bracket. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Why is this thing? Close black lens bracket. Seeing that Yi Cheng came to take this thing, not you, you secretly breathed a sigh of relief. You don't want to be surrounded by enemies on three sides. It hurts. It hurts. The dead head in the package suddenly screams in pain, and then seems to smell something, staring straight at you. You smell so good, so familiar. Yes. Snap. You realized that this thing might have recognized you, so you slapped it in the face and knocked out a few of its teeth. Its face was swollen and its head was buzzing. Seeing this, Yi Cheng didn't say much, thinking that you didn't like this thing, so he put it away. You were silent for a moment, and finally decided to invite him to go to the harem together, saying that you were going to get some things and kill some people. Yi Cheng nodded and agreed to your request. Okay, I'll help you. Because you have the face of Chen Tai, even if the guards saw you along the way, they dared not stop you. Yi Cheng turned into a palace maid and followed behind you. But as you walk, you always feel that Yi Cheng behind you seems to be staring at you, which makes you feel creepy. Perhaps it's because of the last simulation that you always feel like the other person wants to stab you. Yi Cheng, can I ask you what deep hatred you have with that D Lu Qian? You suddenly opened your mouth, wanting to understand the grudges between you. Closing square bracket. However, your inquiry was not responded to for a long time. After a long time, you finally heard a few words. If something you like is taken away and used by someone else, how would you feel? Thing, is it referring to Liu Ruyue? You raised your eyebrows. Could it be that Yi Cheng's obsession with you is because of Liu Ruyue? Oh no, this is a pure love war god. I am a Tauran warrior for you, and you hate me. What if the other party has never used it before? Would you feel better? Then, I don't want it either. Yi Cheng's faint voice came again. Closing square bracket. I want him to pay the price he deserves. Oh no, this is a pure love war god with mental misophobia, this vengeance is huge. No wonder this crazy woman even chased and chopped Liu Ruyue during the last simulation. Open black lens bracket. Chen Shi, can I ask you a question? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Sure. Close black lens bracket. Do you think that people must be honest? Yes, but sometimes, white lies are also unavoidable. You sighed secretly, realizing that the other party had obviously guessed something, but it seemed that he was not completely sure yet. It seems that something went wrong. Closing square bracket. Right now, the only helper you have may come to you. Closing square bracket. But right now, you have no choice. You can't be sure if the other party will start a fight with you if you reveal your identity. It seems that the only way to survive is to risk one's life. Open black lens bracket Yang Shen. Come out. Close black lens bracket. You left behind the main soul Taiguang and the corpse dog, one of the 7 souls, who was in charge of alerting the crisis, to control Liu Qian's physical body to deal with Yi Cheng. You, in the state of Yang Shen, quietly leave your body and rush towards the Imperial Master's mansion deep in the Great Xia Palace. Just as your Yangshan left, a maid suddenly appeared silently and stood in front of Liu Qian. Your Highness, King Wu, the Imperial concubine wants to see you. This maidservant is Yinger, the maidservant of Lady Chu. She suddenly appeared here. I think the lady received the news of your coming in. But right now, my Yang Shen had just left, and the other party came. It seemed a bit weird and coincidental. Liu Qian frowned, but soon relaxed. According to the memory of Chen Tai that he had obtained from searching his soul, this guy seemed to be extremely afraid of his mother. If he didn't go, he would be exposed. Right now, I need to buy time for myself. Closing square bracket. Also, Yi Cheng is starting to become unstable right now, so he has to drag everyone else down with him. In that case, let's go meet that mysterious lady. Closing square bracket. Okay, I will go see my mother. Chapter 215. Tai Lu, the innate Taoist talisman. Yi Cheng looked at Chen Shi, in front of him with doubt, and felt that something was wrong. Didn't you say you were going to look for something? Why did you suddenly go to see some Mrs. Chu? The contrast between the two seems quite big, like schizophrenia. More importantly, she had a strong sense of perception and felt that something had just left, but she couldn't be sure if it was her illusion. Forget it, since he wants to go, she will go with him. Closing square bracket. I want to see what you are going to do. At this moment, she was completely unaware that the dead head in the package behind her seemed to be looking upwards as if sensing something. Snap! The next moment, it was slapped in the face by the air, and became aggrieved. Even the other, soul-fixing orb, next to it disappeared. A vicious threat emerges in its mind. Shut up, or you'll have something bad to suffer. ... It's amazing that he could discover this. The spiritual perception of that dead head is quite amazing. No wonder he could produce a rare treasure like the soul-fixing orb. In the Yongshen state, you hold the second soul-fixing orb in your hand, with a hint of surprise on your face. Since he entered the Yongshen state, even the strong men of the Imperial Observatory and Yi Cheng could not detect his existence. He took away the soul-fixing orb. I didn't expect that the dead head had such power. It almost exposed Yongshen. However, in comparison, you are also extremely curious about that noble Lady Chu at this moment. You narrow your eyes as you watch, Chen Shi, and Yi Cheng head towards the depths of the harem. At this moment, under the gaze of your emperor's eyes, the residence of concubine Chu is filled with a strange evil aura, giving you the feeling that it is not human. Is this another non-human being? Why are there so many monsters in the entire Xia Empire? Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. Separating your two souls and two spirits in a row has consumed a lot of your energy, making you feel a little tired, and even your Yongshen is a little dim. However, when you merge the second soul-fixing orb in your hand, the situation improved. Right now, I don't have much time left. I have to make a quick decision. There is less than half an hour left before the birthday banquet of that immortal old man begins. I hope that headless body can buy me some time. Old man, if you want to kill me, I will first destroy the foundation of your enlightenment. A hint of cruelty flashed across your eyes, and then turned into a stream of light, approaching the direction of the East Palace. According to Zan Fuzzy's memory, the National Master's Mansion is located near the Eastern Palace of deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan, and is often responsible for Chen Zan's teachings. However, after the war that year, he, the Great Xia Imperial Master, was also implicated, resulting in the Imperial Master's Mansion being sealed off and almost becoming a deserted place. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. As a young god, you can travel thousands of miles with a single thought. After determining the approximate location, you soon found an abandoned Taoist temple. On the Taoist temple, half of the plaque remains. Open black lens bracket, National Master, close black lens bracket. It is said that this Imperial Master Mansion was built specifically for Zan Fuzzy by the previous emperors of Xia. However, it has now become a dilapidated ruin. The statues inside have long been overturned, there are knife marks all over the ground, and even the floor tiles have been overturned. It seems that the black-hearted Lao Deng must have sent people to search for it countless times over the years, but I think they have found nothing. It seems that Zan Fuzzy also mentioned the hidden treasure to Lao Deng back then. Looking at this scene, he seemed to have some realization, and then he entered it, touched the immortal scroll. 9 mysterious sky dome returned to ruins divine thunder, in his soul and released a trace of its aura. However, unexpectedly, the treasure that Zan Fuzzy mentioned that could help you become an immortal was nowhere to be found. Could it be that Zan Fuzzy is deceiving you? Closing square bracket. Click. Click. The half of the plaque hanging high above suddenly shattered into pieces, and a ray of light emitting innate energy attacked your Yongshen. This speed is so fast that you almost can't react. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. Your consciousness falls into a space world composed of billions of runes. A Taoist scripture and a broken talisman slowly appear before your eyes. Tai Lu Tianxian Taoist scripture, the Taoist scripture of the Tianfu Taoist sect, which contains 3,000 immortal talismans. Shantian Dao talisman, resurrection incomplete, a broken Shantian Dao talisman, made with the blood and sweat of a powerful celestial being. Even if there is only a trace of residual soul left, it can reshape the body and resurrect the dead. Open black lens bracket hiss, close black lens bracket. This sudden scene will also make you dumbfounded. Closing square bracket. Is this the chance to become an immortal that Zan Fuzi mentioned? Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. The Taoist scripture and innate talisman suddenly turned into streams of light and entered your Yongshen. The Tai talisman slowly opened, revealing the first page. What came into view was a familiar talisman. Primary Immortal Scroll 9 Mysterious Sky Dome returning to the ruins Divine Thunder. Zon Fuzzy's Immortal Talisman is actually just an elementary Immortal Talisman. Any core disciple of our Tian Fudao sect who has made great contributions can view the Tai Talisman, and, with their understanding, obtain an Immortal Talisman and achieve their own Destiny Talisman. An ancient voice emerged from the Tai Lu. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. The next moment, you feel like you have entered a special state, and begin to comprehend the Immortal Talisman. Your young god's cultivation begins to skyrocket wildly. Open black lens bracket fourth transformation of heaven and man, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket the fifth celestial being, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket sixth transformation heavenly being, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. The heavenly immortal Dao scripture. The innate Dao talisman. Lu Qian's pupils shrank, and he stared at the contents of the villain simulator intently. Who could have thought that Zon Fuzzy actually hid such an amazing treasure? No wonder Zon Fuzzy dared to say that he could help him become an immortal. This guy hides himself really well. No wonder Lao Deng was kept alive and not killed. Most likely he was planning for this opportunity. As a result, at the moment, it was a good deal for him. Who on earth is the Tian Fudao sect? Why haven't I heard of it before? Chen Shi, who was heading to the harem, suddenly frowned and found that the connection with his original young god was suddenly severed. This is an opportunity. Dong, dong, dong. The ancient bell sound suddenly rang out from the Taiji Hall. The emperor's birthday banquet has begun. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 216. Emperor Bone Master, are you interested in making a deal? Open black lens bracket. The birthday banquet began. Close black lens bracket. The princes, nobles, ministers and envoys from overseas countries began to enter the inner city quickly and came to the Xuanwu Hall, responsible for coordinating the birthday banquet. They entered the hall according to their shifts. Everyone has a smile on their face. No matter what they think in their hearts, they must smile. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Everything seems to be starting in an orderly manner. Close black lens bracket. But at this moment, everyone was completely unaware that a menacing figure was approaching them. Moreover, as he approached, he began to gather strength, as if he was about to give a big gift. Closing square bracket. Demon disintegration and destruction technique. Just as the birthday banquet began, Chen Shi and Yi Cheng from the Daxia harem also came to the bedroom of Lady Chu and saw the mysterious and powerful lady. She was a plump and beautiful woman, wearing a simple palace skirt that showed off her exquisite and attractive figure, with eyes like foxes, alluring and soul-stirring. When seeing this beautiful woman, even Chen Shi couldn't help but reveal a hint of amazement. It is hard to imagine that such a beautiful woman could give birth to Chen Tai's stupid, fat and greasy son. What surprised Chen Shi even more was that, in his perception, the concubine Chu in front of him did not have any cultivation at all. Even under the gaze of the emperor's eyes, it is clear that the other party has no cultivation and is just an ordinary person. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket. This seems to be different from what I expected. Close black lens bracket. Perhaps my emperor's eyes can see more things. On the contrary, Yi Cheng, who was dressed as a palace maid, couldn't help but sniff when she saw Mrs. Chu, and a hint of disgust flashed across her eyes. My son is here. The beautiful woman looked at the two of you coming in, with a gentle smile on her face, as if she had seen her beloved baby, especially the look she gave you, which was filled with a hint of maternal radiance. Come here and let your mother hug you. We haven't seen each other for a long time. Faced with the beautiful woman's words, Chen Shi ignored them and just stood there, motionless, looking at her coldly. You should stop playing these old tricks. I killed your son, and you don't mind. Your sudden attitude surprised the beautiful woman in front of you. She didn't expect you to explode directly, but she recovered immediately with the same smile on her face. A useless idiot, let him die, what's there to mind? Compared to that, I care more about you. Your current situation is not good. I have been shielding you since you came in. If I hadn't sent someone to lead you here halfway and indirectly bought you time, he would have found you long ago. Master of the Emperor's Bone, are you interested in making a deal? The Master of the Emperor's Bone. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. Chen Shi's pupils shrank. When he heard the last sentence, he instantly guessed who the real concubine Chu was. During the last villain simulation, the mysterious evil god from overseas who cooperated with Chen Ang also called him the Master of the Emperor's Bone when they first met. Open black lens bracket. Chen Shi would not think this would be a coincidence. Close black lens bracket. Good fellow, this overseas evil god has reached deep enough into the Daxi royal family. Moreover, she gave birth to a son for the old emperor, which was really a great investment. Closing square bracket. No wonder over the years, there have been very few strange and alien races in the Great Xia Palace. These people are hiding so deeply. They really know how to play. I think Lao Deng should also know her true identity, but he has indeed left it alone and even cooperated with her. But right now, the other party is obviously trying to make some small moves behind Lao Deng's back. As expected, there are no eternal allies, only eternal interests. At the critical moment, there are definitely not a few people who will hold each other back. However, the other party obviously did not realize that you were just a physical body in front of you, and your real Yang Shen was upgrading in the National Master's Mansion. This undoubtedly gives you the possibility to operate. Chen Shi calmly glanced at Yi Cheng beside him and found that she was still expressionless. Then, he continued to deal with the beautiful woman in front of him. Okay, tell me, what deal do you want to make with me? I want the remaining half of your Emperor's Bone. In exchange, I can use some means to allow you and your lovers to leave Daxia alive together, the beautiful woman said meaningfully. Open black lens bracket. How many little lovers, close black lens bracket. Chen Shi narrowed his eyes, and immediately realized that Liu Ruyue, who was waiting outside, had also been exposed, and might even have been in trouble. It seems that the other party has seen through most of my plans. At the same time, when hearing about the little lovers, Yi Cheng beside him seemed to breathe faster, his expressionless face twisted slightly, his eyes slightly cold, and he stretched his hands behind his back. You can think about it carefully, but I don't think you have much time. I think His Majesty will find this place soon. By then, you won't have any other chance. I only want half of your Emperor Bone, but he will completely take your life. You know clearly what is important and what is not. At this moment, concubine Chu seemed to be certain that the person in front of her would agree to her request. Her elegant and noble face was full of calmness and pride. Snap, snap, snap. She clapped her hands, and saw Yinger, the personal maid from before, reappear, accompanied by a group of strong women. At this moment, they were also holding a woman with injuries. It turned out to be Liu Ruyue. Open black lens bracket. Seeing this scene, Chen Shi's pupils shrank, as if he could not believe it. Close black lens bracket. Liu Ruyue also kept his head down, his breath was weak, he seemed to be a little ashamed and didn't dare to face you directly. My queen, in order to subdue her, most of the powerful celestial beings in the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion died, as well as a half-step land immortal. Fortunately, she was poisoned before, otherwise, I'm afraid we might not be able to subdue her. Ying brought Liu Ruyue to concubine Chu's side and spoke in a low voice. Concubine Chu said nothing, but just smiled at the Chen Shi in front of her, with an arrogant attitude as if she had you in her hands. After years of planning, it was finally time to reap the rewards, and she snatched the food from the mouth of that old monster. How could she not feel complacent? As for the feelings of the person in front of you, is it really important? So far, in the entire Daxia, the only person she is afraid of is that person. But the subsequent developments were far beyond her expectations. Overseas evil god, are you planning to take me down? Chapter 217. Painted Skin Evil God. Furious Human Emperor. The expression of concubine Chu suddenly became stiff, and then her eyes became uncertain. She looked at Chen Shi in front of her fiercely, as if she couldn't believe it. She could never have imagined that this little guy, who should have been easily controlled by her, could actually know her true identity. This was undoubtedly beyond her expectations. Open black lens bracket. How could you? Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket swish. Close black lens bracket. A terrifying pressure suddenly appeared from the Xuanwu Palace in front of her. The terrifying pressure almost reached the level of a true immortal on Earth, and instantly interrupted her questioning. Open black lens bracket. Then, a huge explosion covered the whole sky and struck from the front. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Xuanwu Hall. Close black lens bracket. Just as everyone began to take their seats and the emperor began to show up, an uninvited guest suddenly barged in, holding a bloody head high in his hand, and shouted loudly. Your son, Chen Zan, presents a gift, the head of Yangshu, wishing your father a long life. Chen Zan. Deposed Crown Prince Chen Zan. When they heard the voice of the person coming, everyone present was instantly shocked. When they looked at the figure of the person coming and the bleeding head of Yangshu in his hand, they were completely dumbfounded. How dare you, rebellious son! Seeing Yangshu's bloody head and the guy pretending to be him, Emperor Lao Deng felt a surge of anger. Even if he changed his mind again, he and Yangshu had a long relationship as husband and wife. This is why he tolerated Yangshu in all these years. But the current situation is basically a slap in his face. Closing square bracket. More importantly, the situation seemed to be slightly beyond expectations. The little guy who was supposed to be the prey actually started to bite back. Why not? Go to hell with you, old dog. I've tolerated you for a long time, who do you think you are? Chen Zan laughed loudly, seeming to be very happy about Lao Deng's rage, thinking that it was worth it for him to go back to Yang Mansion and kill Yangshu, thus performing a murderous and heartbreaking drama. Explode for me. The soul and spirit controlling the headless corpse in the body burned completely without hesitation, turning into sparks and igniting the gunpowder barrel that was about to explode. Boom. A self-destruction force far exceeding that of a true immortal on land instantly appeared in the Xuanwu Palace, mixed with the terrified screams of countless people and the furious roar of the human emperor. The foundation of my enlightenment, you little b**************, d, I'm going to kill you. ... Open black lens bracket harem. Close black lens bracket. Concubine Chu gnashed her teeth as she stared at Chen Shi, in front of her, looking as if she wanted to eat him. You lunatic, what good will this do you? You are courting death. At this moment, even she is confused by your tricks. You know, the action just now certainly cannot kill the human emperor, and it is difficult to even hurt him, but it has indeed completely angered the human emperor Lao Deng. Even she didn't want to provoke this old monster that even the immortals couldn't deal with, but you just sent a big explosion. This action undoubtedly directly extinguished the chance of survival. Closing square bracket. The other party will definitely come here soon. When they find this place, everyone present will die. I don't know whether I will die or not, but I'm afraid you will have to die first. Chen Shi raised a cold smile at the corner of his mouth and spoke meaningfully. Concubine Chu's face changed slightly, and she suddenly had a bad feeling. Open black lens bracket. Not good. Close black lens bracket. Puff. Close at hand, Liu Ruyue, who was supposed to be seriously injured and dying, suddenly exploded and pierced her back with a sword. Obviously, everything she did before was just a disguise. But Liu Ruyue, who was holding the magic sword, suddenly changed his expression. Although the sword had pierced through Concubine Chu's chest, there was indeed no sense of blood and flesh blocking it. Instead, there was a sense of emptiness, as if it had pierced through a piece of cardboard. Open black lens bracket. You are not a human, but a painted skin. Close black lens bracket. Liu Ruyue was stunned. She didn't expect that the favorite concubine of the emperor in front of her would be such a ghost. Originally, she was prepared to severely injure the opponent, or even hold him hostage. Open black lens bracket, but I missed it. Close black lens bracket. Liu Ruyue. You are looking for death. Open black lens bracket. Boom. Close black lens bracket. Liu Ruyue was knocked back by the furious concubine Chu's punch, and instantly felt his arms go numb, but as he retreated, he still slashed the opponent's face with his sword again. Open black lens bracket tear. Close black lens bracket. There was a crack on concubine Chu's beautiful face, but the inside was empty, which was extremely strange, as if there was only a layer of skin on the outside. She looked at Liu Ruyue coldly, with a slightly ferocious expression on her face, as if she wanted to cut him into pieces. Then, she looked at you again, but her expression was extremely calm. Master of the Emperor's bone, I underestimated you, but you have completely cut off all my retreat routes. Next, you will face an enraged, even more terrifying old monster. Good luck to you, and I hope you can continue studying abroad. Boom. A huge white jade hand suddenly fell from the sky, instantly shattering the entire palace, and directly smashing the body of concubine Shou, turning into countless pieces of painted skin, leaving only a beautiful cardboard head. An extremely oppressive and terrifying pressure descended instantly, crushing the other powerful celestial beings in the Misty Rain Sword Pavilion. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. A terrifying figure wearing a golden dragon robe and an imperial crown, but with a rotten face and pus oozing out, suddenly descends. Liu Ruyue and Yi Cheng's expressions changed, and they felt their bodies become stiff, unable to muster the emotion of resistance. This is due to the huge difference in life level and strength. BCH, I let you go since you were still useful, but I didn't expect you to dare to interfere with my hunting. Once I have settled everything, I will go overseas and kill you. Snap. The furious human Emperor Chen Zan crushed the beautiful human skin head on the ground with one foot. His tone was cold, as if carrying an endless chill. For a madman who killed his father, no matter how important concubine Shou was, or how much credit she had given him, as long as the other party dared to take the emperor's bone, he would have to die. Open black lens bracket. Then, the Lord of Daxia raised his head and looked towards you. Close black lens bracket. And you, damned little b*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** bracket, FK your mother, close black lens bracket. Chapter 218. The three flowers gather at the top of the head, and the immortal talisman master is successful. The realm rises rapidly. The ninth transformation of heaven and man. Open black lens bracket, FK your mother, close black lens bracket. Before Lao Deng could finish his words, he was hit on the head with a knife. At this moment, Chen Shi has instantly burned through his lifespan, using the 9 steps to heaven. His aura instantly reaches the level of a half-step land immortal. Holding the immortal weapon soul-devouring demon slayer sword, he instantly explodes and chops away. A true dragon's pressure entwined the blade of the soul-devouring demon sword, faintly revealing the true dragon's appearance, with a repressive power that penetrated the heavens and the earth. The supreme domain tyrannically expanded, plundering almost all the spiritual energy around it and forcibly controlling it, making it impossible for people to use any power, as if they had lost their cultivation and became mortals. This knife was extremely brutal, and it almost exploded with a terrifying power comparable to that of a true immortal on Earth. Even ordinary true immortals on Earth dared not ignore it. If you are not careful, you will end up being seriously injured. This sudden outburst stunned everyone instantly. No one would have thought that you could actually burst out with a powerful fighting force that is almost at the level of a true immortal on Earth. An 18-year-old with the fighting power of a true land immortal. It is simply unheard of. How is it possible? Yi Cheng's heart trembled, as if he was also shocked by the terrifying fighting power you showed at this moment. What is her effort? Liu Ruyue next to him was not too surprised. Obviously he had prepared himself mentally, but his eyes could not hide a trace of worry. It would be fine if your opponent was someone else. But the current opponent is the Lord of Daxia, the famous one, known as the strongest of the human race, who single-handedly suppressed the gods of the Western Empire, the overseas evil gods, and the strange alien races who dared not easily invade the Great Xia Emperor. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket clang. Close black lens bracket. But the next moment, something even more shocking happened. When such a terrifying blow hit the human Emperor Lao Deng, it was like a drop in the ocean, and it didn't even cause a single ripple. Not even a trace of the knife was left. The rotten and foul-smelling body of the human Emperor Lao Deng, with pus-filled skin, seems to have a defense power even more terrifying than that of a fairy weapon. The fighting power of an 18-year-old land immortal. Chen Qian. I underestimated you. The anger on the face of the human Emperor Lao Deng had mostly dissipated, and a trace of seriousness appeared on his face, no longer looking at him with the contempt he had before. The potential you have shown right now is too terrifying. You have grown and endured to this extent quietly during the 18 years of surveillance. If I give you a few more years, wouldn't you be able to reach heaven? Closing square bracket. You are too dangerous, just die. Human Emperor Lao Deng punched out, breaking the soul-devouring demon sword in half, and punched you in the chest, almost killing you on the spot. Immortal Talisman. Out. At the critical moment, a brilliant thunder talisman suddenly appeared, condensing into the shadow of the Thunder Immortal Lord, blocking in front of you, and countless thunders burst out and attacked you. That old guy actually gave you this thing. Human Emperor Lao Deng's eyes turned cold, and he instantly recognized the origin of the immortal scroll. The Supreme Emperor body, on his body also faintly revealed the fear of thunder, but his murderous intent was even stronger. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. The immortal scroll was actually shattered by his punch, and even the summoned thunder god's Dharma image was shattered by his domineering blow. This time, seeing that you are a huge threat, the human Emperor Lao Deng who directly entered the second form obviously did not give you the slightest chance. The power of the Emperor is fully revealed at this moment. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket roar. Close black lens bracket. The true dragon image was also shattered. Open black lens bracket puff. Close black lens bracket. A huge bloody hole was punched in your chest, and the soul and spirit left in your body were instantly shattered. You were killed on the spot, and your body flew out and hit the palace heavily. At this moment, in the eyes of countless people, you were almost killed on the spot by a single punch, and you are no longer able to breathe. Open black lens bracket. No. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Lu Qian, close black lens bracket. Seeing this scene, Yi Cheng and Liu Ruyue went crazy instantly. How could he die so easily this time? The queen with strange eyes, who was hiding in the dark, looked at the corpse not far away in astonishment, with a look of doubt in her eyes. This guy was quite arrogant when he was in the magic city before, but he turned out to be so useless. I couldn't even block a punch from that monster Chen Zan. The power of that sword strike just now was not bad, but it was at most at the level of an ordinary forbidden emperor, which was nothing. As the weird one who is best at souls and curses, she seems to have sensed something strange about you, but the destruction of your soul just now cannot be faked. But her intuition told her that you shouldn't be that simple. Just as she began to ponder, Su Mei, who was standing next to her, suddenly broke free of everything when she saw your body, and rushed forward regardless of everything. Open black lens bracket. Brother Liu, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. National Master's Mansion. Close black lens bracket. You have just comprehended the new, immortal scroll, from the Tai scroll, and your spirit has begun to transform, reaching the level of a human immortal, and initially condensing the 3 flowers on your head. The aura exuded by the Yang God has also reached the 9th level of heavenly being. At this moment, although your cultivation has not yet reached the level of a true immortal on earth, and your physical body has not yet been transformed to become an immortal body, you have comprehended the immortal talisman. In terms of the soul, you have made the leap first, so it is not impossible for you to call yourself an immortal talisman master. Right now, you are only one step away from becoming an immortal. Closing square bracket. The opportunity that Zan Fuzzy left for me is indeed extraordinary. Just when you have just received a great benefit and want to continue to comprehend other powerful immortal talismans of the Tai talisman, you suddenly feel a sharp pain from your soul. Oh no, all the souls left outside are destroyed, something has happened. You immediately stop your perception, stir your body, and return in an instant. My body is still very useful now, and I cannot lose it easily. Besides, I also have the more important Supreme Emperor bone. Even if the Supreme Emperor's bone is destroyed, we cannot let Lao Deng take it. Otherwise, who knows to what extent the old immortal will evolve. If he creates a 3rd form by then this simulation will be purgatory level. Open black lens bracket. The harem of Daxia. Close black lens bracket. A battle with a huge disparity in strength ended in an instant. Even though Yi Cheng and the 2 female protagonists Liu Ruyue and Su Mei each have their own experiences and trump cards, and can unleash methods comparable to those of the true immortals on Earth, the gap in strength is still too great when facing the old man Ha Jishuan. A scene that seemed to predict the future appeared. Liu Ruyue was pierced by a sword and nailed to the ground, almost seriously injured and dying. Su Mei's eyes were bloodshot, cracks appeared on them, and her breath was weak, like a broken rag doll. Yi Cheng lost his left hand again, and he was like a madman, blocking your body. Since you want to die, then die together with this rebellious son. Open black lens bracket. Human Emperor Lao Deng has obviously lost his patience. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Swish. Close black lens bracket. At this moment, an illusory wave of Yangshen flashed by. No one noticed that your body, lying quietly on the ground, without moving, suddenly underwent subtle changes, and the little finger of your right hand trembled slightly. Chapter 219. Lu Qian, today, I want to take them away. I want to see who can stop me. Is it reaching the limit? Yi Cheng held the knife, panting, blood dripping from his forehead. His eyes began to become dazed, but he was still unwilling to retreat and make way for Lu Qian's body. She has forgotten how many times she has died. Facing the monster in front of her, she will die almost instantly. If it weren't for the time magic power of fighting stars shift, she would have collapsed long ago. But time is not a power she can use easily. When her left arm was torn just now, she was even unable to go back in time and restore the broken arm. At this moment, she could hardly even stand up straight and raise her sword. She just fought to the death with her last breath. At this moment, she couldn't figure out why she did this. Chen Qian, do you really think I'm a fool? I've seen your broken sword before in the secret realm of the magic city. There are male and female swords. You have a male and I have a female. You be ******************. D. Am I that stupid? You bullied me in the magic city and fooled me in the imperial city. I'm very smart. Why would you die? Would you die at someone else's hands? Then what am I? Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Lu Qian, you made me not hateful, close black lens bracket. Yi Cheng lowered his head and muttered to himself. The whole person seemed like a madman. Your death seemed to have had a huge impact on her. She was holding her breath, but now it's gone. Why, if it could be faster, using the star shift, he could be brought back to life. Just a little bit. Faced with Yi Cheng's madness and obsession, the human Emperor Lao Deng was dismissive, and his remaining patience was completely exhausted. He was ready to completely kill the annoying little bug in front of him. If it weren't for the fact that this little bug had the power of time, which was a bit tricky, and I was afraid that I would use too much force and kill the opponent, making it difficult to search his soul, and if it damaged his Emperor bone, I would have solved it long ago. BCH, since you love protecting this little b************ D so much, I won't let you die too easily. After I obtain the Emperor's bone, your magical power of time will also become a powerful nutrient for me. The rotten and festering face of the human Emperor Chen Zan revealed a hint of ferocity. He walked forward step by step. Every step he took was accompanied by an unimaginable sense of oppression, just like the sky. But the next moment, his eyes paused, and a strange white bone flame began to spread from Yi Cheng in front of him, nourishing his broken body, and his aura began to surge. At this moment, Yi Cheng seemed to be reborn. In an instant, he stepped into the threshold of the land immortal, as if he had become a different person. But she was still mumbling in her sleep. Just a little bit. If only time could flow back. Looking at the strange white bone flame, the eyes of the human Emperor Chen Zan instantly turned cold, filled with murderous intent, even more than before. So it's you. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. Before he finished speaking, Emperor Chen Zan attacked instantly and punched Yi Cheng in the head, not giving her any chance to transform. As an experienced emperor, how could he make such a common sense and stupid mistake? This is a mysterious thing. Human Emperor Chen Zan attacked with all his strength in a rage. Yi Cheng, who had not yet completely transformed, seemed to have no way out. The bone flames covering Yi Cheng's body began to burn crazily, as if they wanted to finish before death came. Open black lens bracket, but it seems too late. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket crackling, close black lens bracket. At this moment, a strange sound suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Snap! A hand suddenly appeared from behind, ignoring the white bones and flames, and patted Yi Cheng on the shoulder, saying jokingly, "You are still so angry. It's been a short time since we last met, and you are already angry." Hearing the familiar voice behind him, Yi Cheng's pupils shrank, and he stopped talking in his sleep in an instant. The white bone flames on his body faded like the tide. He stood there in a daze, motionless, as if he couldn't believe it, and he didn't seem to have recovered. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. A golden light suddenly burst out and hit the face of the human Emperor Chenzan heavily. The terrifying force smashed him away. The rotten and festering, Supreme Emperor's body, that had always been indestructible suddenly had a strange knife mark on it, and it was slightly sunken. The sudden attack and the long-lost pain made Huang Laoding unable to help but widen his green eyes and look ahead in disbelief. "It's you. You're not dead. Old man, you're not even dead yet, so how can I die? Even the god of hell doesn't dare to take my life." Trample. 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 In the shadows, a tall figure slowly walked out, blocking Yi Cheng, blocking Liu Ruyue, blocking Su Mei, and facing the human Emperor Chenzan. The shadow of a phoenix appeared on the body of the person who came. The huge hole in his chest began to heal little by little, but the organs inside began to wither and disintegrate, turning into countless forces pouring in. It is the pseudo-gold talent, the terrifying recovery ability of the dragon and phoenix. Closing square bracket. Boom. A pressure of the true immortal level on land begins to emanate from the person who comes. However, what is even more terrifying is the weapon held by the visitor. He held a half-broken soul-devouring demon slayer sword in one hand, and a bloody, dazzling and bizarre golden spine knife in the other hand, as if it had just been pulled out of his body. The golden afterimage just now was swung by the golden spine knife. "Today, I want to take them away. Let's see who can stop me." Chapter 220. At worst, I'll give you the entire Daxia, or I'll bury you with you. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. A pressure of the true immortal level on land bursts out from you. Close black lens bracket. Dragon roars and phoenix howls emerge from the body, and the terrifying recovery power of the mutated, dragon and phoenix talent, the pseudo-golden talent, restores the disintegrated organs, achieving a strange balance. At some point, a yin-yang five elements formation appeared under his feet, gathering the three women behind him around his body. In his mind, he condensed a series of life-restoring nectar talismans, and scattered them, restoring the injuries of the three women and pulling them back from the brink of death. You, who have already reached the 9th level of heavenly being and the soul of an immortal talisman master, have not yet activated the Emperor Bone, and have only used the demon disintegration and destruction technique. You have steadily reached the human immortal realm, and your body has undergone a transformation. The three flowers on your head have appeared, and behind you stands a brilliant and blurry magnificent Dharma image. Open black lens bracket, human wonderland, close black lens bracket. The look in the eyes of the human Emperor Laodeng changed. Different from the combat power of the true immortal level on land just now, you have now truly stepped into the realm of this realm. Moreover, unlike ordinary human immortals, in his eyes, you are much more dangerous than the peak human immortals, and even some earth immortals. And the source of the danger is naturally the golden spine knife, in your hand that is sticky with blood and flesh. That strange spine seems to be sharper and stronger than any other immortal weapon in the world. Since the battle that year, he has gone through the past, sucked the blood of the Emperor's bones, devoured many of Daxia's land immortals as nutrients, and condensed the Supreme Emperor body, that is almost indestructible, becoming the injured. But just now, he was hit by a knife on the head, which broke his defense and caught him off guard. This is the first time he has been injured in all these years. Evil demon from outer space, I shouldn't have been soft-hearted back then. Since you have my blood, I'll leave you a chance to live. If you want the Emperor's bones, just say you want the Emperor's bones. Are you pretending? You really think you are the father? You couldn't help but laugh, and it seemed that you were also refreshed by the shamelessness of the old immortal in front of you. Closing square bracket. If you hadn't gone through so many simulations and deaths, you probably wouldn't be able to see the true face of this old man in front of you. You have survived all these years only because you were lucky, otherwise you would have died long ago. Closing square bracket. At this moment, you are full of vigor and energy, looking down on everything, 10 times, 100 times stronger than before. The golden spine knife in your hand, which is filled with a layer of chaotic light, is pointed directly at the human emperor Lao Deng in front of you. Are you still the devil from outer space? God, you old man, look at my face, and then look at your dead face. I think you are more like it. Ah, it was you, who bewitched me back then. Otherwise, how could I become what I am today, half human, half ghost? The human emperor Lao Deng's defense was instantly broken, and his face was slightly red. It was obvious that you had hit the nail on the head. Over the years, although he has become increasingly powerful, and has a tendency to surpass all the emperors of previous dynasties, he has become neither human nor ghost, and has many problems. His own strength has huge side effects. In the final analysis, it is because most of these powers do not belong to him. He looks at you with red eyes, full of anger, jealousy, and madness, as if he sees something in you. 3 flowers gather at the top of your head. The immortal talisman protects you. You have become a talisman master. That old B***************** D Zon Fuzzy actually gave that thing to you. I am his disciple, and you are just an outsider. If he could have given me that thing back then, I would have broken through to become a true immortal on Earth long ago, and could have taken the orthodox path of a celestial immortal. But that old man has always followed those bad habits and insisted that I follow the path of talismans and break through to the 8th level talisman master before giving me those things. If that time really comes, I will be dead long ago. Why are you born with such an invincible thing as the Supreme Emperor Bone? Someone also voluntarily offers you the opportunity and treasure, and someone also helps you protect you all the way. You think you were wronged. My situation back then was 100 times more difficult than yours. Back then, I didn't even dare to trust the person next to me. Perhaps he was overstimulated by you, or perhaps he had been feeling depressed for too long. The human emperor Chen Zan had gone a little crazy, and he didn't rush to take action, but instead started talking to himself. Seeing this scene, you can't help but wonder if it's possible to take this opportunity to kill the other person. I think there should be a 10% to 20% chance of success. Perhaps he instantly sensed your ill intentions. The human emperor Lao Deng in front of him regained his sanity in an instant, looking at you fiercely. I was almost disturbed by the distracting thoughts of this body again. If I could retrieve the previous body, I could completely eliminate the hidden danger, but you, the damn wolf cub, have ruined my plan. Today, you will definitely die. Don't even mention you're a mere human immortal. Even if you're an earthly immortal or a celestial immortal today, I can still eat you alive. Old man, you can give it a try. The knife in my hand is not bad either. Emperor's bone. Open. Boom. At this moment, the emperor bone in your hand shines brightly again, causing the aura of the human fairyland on your body to instantly reach its peak, and the momentum is even stronger, almost stirring up the entire world. Human Emperor Chen Zan remained calm. Such pressure was nothing to him. Over the years, among the true immortals he had swallowed, there were many who were stronger than you now. But what happened next made his scalp tingle. Click. Click. But I saw that the golden spine knife in your hand began to show slight cracks under the pressure of your thoughts, revealing the golden marrow blood contained inside, and a terrifying golden light shot up into the sky. The golden light that shot up into the sky almost enveloped the entire imperial capital and the entire Daxia, locking him in place. Little b*********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** You can only dream of my emperor's bone if you want it. I would rather blow myself up than give it to you. With this next strike, I want to see whether your imperial body is stronger or my imperial bone is sharper. You are ready to self-destruct, and the Supreme Emperor bone in your hand is on the verge of exploding at any time. Once it explodes, I'm afraid the entire Daxia Empire will disappear. At this moment, you are almost gambling with your life, the Supreme Emperor's bone, and the entire Daxia with this immortal old man. At worst, I'll give you the entire Daxia, or I'll bury you with you. Shrouded by golden light, with the tip of the knife pointing at him, a creepy feeling began to rise in the heart of the human Emperor Chenzan, making him unable to help but change color. Damn it, You little b asterisk 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 d, you dare to threaten me. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 221. Shock. Backstab. Betrayal. Faced with your threat, the human emperor Lao Deng seems to be a little furious. Closing square bracket. He can ignore the Great Xia Empire. If it is gone, it is gone. He can still go to the west, occupy the other powerful empires, and become the emperor of mankind again. But if the Supreme Emperor Bone is gone, his many years of planning will be completely ruined. This result is undoubtedly difficult for him to accept. Plus, he couldn't be sure whether the power of the Emperor's bone after its self-destruction could cause fatal damage to him. At this moment, he was obviously a little hesitant. Open black lens bracket, and this is undoubtedly your chance. Close black lens bracket. After several simulations, you seem to have roughly figured out the character of this old Deng. Cunning, suspicious, treacherous, gloomy. You decide to add more fuel to the fire and intensify the opponent's attack, and suddenly shout loudly. Empress Weird Eyes, the deal I made with you is still the same. Join forces to kill this old immortal and I will be the emperor. Whatever you want, I will grant it. Whatever that old man didn't give you, I will give you 10 times, 100 times. A puppet of the human emperor that even the immortals cannot do anything to. Are you interested? Open black lens bracket. Human Emperor Chen Zan. Close black lens bracket. Lao Deng's already tense nerves instantly tensed up again. Oh no, this is directed at him. The queen with strange eyes in the dark. Open black lens bracket. Digging. Close black lens bracket. This B asterisk 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 D actually got dragged into this by her. Closing square bracket. As a fun-loving person, when have I ever been used as a gun by someone? But what the other party said seemed a bit tempting. Under the influence of the nonsense, even she was tempted. A puppet of a powerful human cultivator comparable to the weird overlord, enough to become her strongest puppet. By then, I'm afraid that those old monsters of the weird overlord will not be her opponents. However, these two humans are not easy to deal with right now. Compared to taking direct action, isn't it better to hide behind the scenes and watch the show first? No rush. If you don't come out, I will take it as your consent. After you shouted, the Queen of Trick Eyes did not appear, and the atmosphere around them became solemn. The old immortal in front of you did not choose to attack, which undoubtedly made you feel certain. Obviously, the Emperor's suspicion has spread to Chen Zan's heart. The current situation is undoubtedly somewhat like a three-way balance of power. You, who are supposed to be the weakest, hold in your hands the power to drag one party to death, or severely injure one party. You look at the silent Emperor Lao Deng in front of you, and a smile appears on your face. It seems that your Majesty has also made a wise decision. Open black lens bracket. Swish. Close black lens bracket. A powerful talisman suddenly condenses under your feet, transforming into a huge phantom of a flying snake, exuding the power of space, instantly covering you, Yi Cheng, Su Mei, and Liu Ruyue. Tang Snake Void Talisman Level 8 condenses the power of the ancient fierce beast Tang Snake, moves through the void, and performs designated teleportation. It can be used by multiple people, and can move up to a distance of 100,000 miles. Perhaps before you become an immortal talisman master, you will not be able to use this 8th level talisman easily, but now you can already condense it in an instant. The current situation is a great opportunity to escape. However, facing your actions, Emperor Chen Zan remained indifferent, as if he had acquiesced. It seems that it's time to open the overseas copy next. Looking at this scene, Lu Qian couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. These continuous changes almost made him, a beggar, a little nervous. You know, the situation in the Daxia Palace was almost certain to end in death. If he hadn't obtained the Emperor's Eye in advance and seen part of the future, the simulated clone would have died miserably. If the simulated clone dies prematurely, it will be his turn next. It's impossible to say I'm not nervous. The current situation is undoubtedly the best. As long as I can find the remaining half of the Emperor's bone, I can break through to the land immortal. By then, I will be able to have a chance to fight with old Denga Jishuan. As long as I can leave Daxia, I can fly freely under the vast sky and fish can swim freely under the vast sea. So far, I have not yet left the prison of Great Xia Empire. The next moment, Liu Qian's face froze and became extremely ugly. All because something unexpected happened to the villain simulator, and an unimaginable scene appeared. Damn it. The Tang Snake Void Talisman is activated, and a void force descends instantly, sending you overseas, preparing to escape from the Great Xia Empire first. The women behind him have different expressions. Closing square bracket. Liu Ruyue heaved a sigh of relief, secretly thinking that he had survived. Yi Cheng lowered his head, saying nothing. I don't know what he was thinking. He seemed a little uncomfortable about being rescued by you again. Su Mei is still lying on the ground, like a broken rag doll, no one knows what happened to her. At this moment, you are ready to go to the kingdom of Golden Sands, but you still haven't put down the golden spine knife in your hand, and your eyes and attention are still in front of the human emperor Chen Zan. At this critical moment, we really can't be careless at all. Who knows if this old man will suddenly turn hostile. However, it seems unlikely. Perhaps because I am about to escape from the cage I have been in for a long time, I feel happy now, and even address Lao Deng with respect. Your Majesty, next time. Puff. A black knife suddenly pierces your chest from behind, stirring it vigorously, causing your pupils to shrink and your hands to almost loosen. This sudden change frightened everyone instantly. When you look back in disbelief, what comes into view is Liu Ruyue's dull face and Yi Cheng's dumbfounded face. To everyone's surprise, the murderer holding the black knife and stabbing you at the critical moment, turned out to be Su Mei. This is the most low-key female protagonist from beginning to end. Little guy, that old guy is still too powerful. The chance of killing him is too small. It's really not worth it. After thinking about it, I still want your Emperor Bone. Chapter 222, Fight. Turn. Stars. Move. Hearing Su Mei's words, your pupils shrank, and you felt a chill running through your heart. There was pain, realization, and a hint of expected calmness in your eyes. Open black lens bracket the Queen of Weird Eyes, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket the Queen of Weird Eyes, close black lens bracket. At this moment, the voice coming out of Su Mei's mouth is exactly the same as that of the Queen of Weird Eyes. Under your gaze, her eyes became dark, her face was dull, and tears flowed unconsciously from her eyes, like a puppet being controlled. It is obvious that the Queen of Weird Eyes has been looking for Su Mei all these years, not for the so-called search for relatives, but for more calculations. Maybe it's to seize blood, maybe it's to refine puppets, maybe it's. But right now, this small detail has become a killing hazard at a critical moment. Right now, even the Queen of Weird Eyes has chosen to join the camp fighting for the Emperor's bone. No wonder in the future scene I saw before, your headless body had a fatal wound, and your severed head was staring at someone in disbelief. I think that when you were stabbed in the back by Su Mei, you must have felt heartbroken and could hardly believe it until your death. Open black lens bracket whirl, close black lens bracket. The black knife that pierced your body seemed to have some kind of energy that could suppress your cultivation, causing your power to become chaotic. Even the Tang Snake Void Talisman under your feet began to tremble and began to show signs of collapse. Once the talisman collapses, the chance to escape from Great Xia will be completely destroyed in an instant. Open black lens bracket. This is to kill you, close black lens bracket. Now, your imperial bone is mine. Su Mei reaches for the Emperor's bone in your hand and pulls hard, but fails to budge. Open black lens bracket. Su Mei, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. What's going on? Close black lens bracket. She suddenly came back to her senses and looked at you in disbelief, who is so weak and so close to her. At this moment, your eyes are calm, as if you don't have any anger from being betrayed. How is it possible? Could it be that you? Open black lens bracket. Yi Cheng, close black lens bracket. You shouted weakly. Bang! A sturdy figure suddenly rushed out from the side, and kicked Su Mei's face heavily with his long legs, without any mercy, with ferocious murderous intent. BCH. Yi Cheng, who had the fastest reaction, once again provided the greatest assist at the critical moment. Bang! Su Mei was kicked and flew away instantly, heading towards the human Emperor Lao Deng outside the talisman formation. The Empress of Weird Eyes, hiding in the dark, couldn't help but groan, and seemed to feel Su Mei's pain at the moment. The stars have turned. Yi Cheng hugged Yu, who was weak and about to fall, and held on to Yu, bursting out the power of time, but not towards Yu, but towards the Tang Snake Void Talisman, under his feet. Because, the human Emperor Lao Deng is here to kill us. Hurry up and leave. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. Under the effect of time, the ferocious beast Tang Snake, that was about to collapse instantly recovered and turned into substance, letting out a fierce roar. Its speed seemed to have been increased tenfold. It opened its bloody mouth and swallowed Yu into its mouth in an instant, teleporting Yu. Bang! A huge white jade hand slapped towards the Tang Snake, instantly smashing most of its body, but it was still a step too slow, and the remaining snake head was still teleported. The next moment, you are moved away from Daxia by the power of space. Gui Tong, you are looking for death. Seeing that there were still people trying to get the emperor's bone, the human emperor Lao Deng instantly became furious and wanted to kill Su Mei with one punch, but was blocked by the Empress of Weird Eyes, who appeared in time. Damn it, this is the bloodline body that I worked so hard to find, how dare you? The Empress of Weird Eyes resisted a punch from the human emperor Lao Deng and managed to take Su Mei back, but her expression was extremely gloomy, as if there was a size 40 shoe print. The damage from Yi Cheng's kick just now was actually replicated on her body by Su Mei. The two seem to have established some kind of connection. Once Su Mei dies, it will be a big trouble for her. I originally wanted to seize the emperor's bone, but I didn't expect that since I had caused so much trouble. She figured it out. You seem to have known everything just now. You deliberately plotted against her just to let her cover you. Otherwise, how far can he run with just a Tang Snake Void Talisman? It would not be difficult for the old monster in front of him to chase him. Idiot, that guy is clearly using the Emperor's bone as bait to lure me into action and cut off his retreat. The Queen of Weird Eyes, who was used as a pawn, secretly hated you, but she didn't want to fight with the human Emperor Lao Deng in front of her, so she suppressed her anger and wanted to explain. But at this moment, she didn't notice that she mentioned a keyword called Emperor Bone. Plus, she just made it clear that she wanted to snatch the Emperor's bone from the tiger's mouth. The already very angry Emperor Lao Deng completely exploded. Human Emperor. Attack. Emperor's bone. My Emperor's bone. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. The Queen of Weird Eyes only felt a flash before her eyes, and her head was instantly blown up by a punch, and then the human emperor punched her again, and her entire body was blown up. Su Mei, who was caught, also fell from the sky. Ah, old monster, do you really think I'm afraid of you? The Queen of Weird Eyes was also angry because of being beaten. After all, she is still the queen among the strange alien race. Open black lens bracket, come out to me, close black lens bracket. Instantly, a series of servant puppets of Western gods appeared behind her, emitting an aura comparable to that of a true immortal on Earth, and rushed towards the human Emperor Lao Deng in front of them. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. A great battle between the human emperor and the strange royal family begins instantly. Open black lens bracket 10 minutes later. Close black lens bracket. The queen with strange eyes, whose flesh body was killed dozens of times and most of her slave puppets were blown up, was beaten all the way and directly drove out of the Great Xia Empire. She ran all the way very fast without even looking back. Even Su Mei, whose whereabouts are unknown, is not taken care of. Damn it, how did this guy become so strong? He's even more brutal than those old monsters at the master level. And that B********** D who plotted against me. Open black lens bracket, Lu Qian. I will remember you, close black lens bracket. The deepest part of a strange sea. Su Mei, like a broken rag doll, lay quietly on the coral reef, her eyes dark, her tears blending with the seawater. The pain of her body was far less than the pain of her heart. Open black lens bracket, Brother Liu, close black lens bracket. Chapter 223. Escape from Daxia and go overseas. Perhaps it was Yi Cheng's kick just now, or perhaps it was the Queen of Weird Eyes who was injured, which weakened the power that originally controlled her, allowing her to regain her consciousness. But at this moment, she was already covered in wounds, and was affected by the aftermath of the battle between the Queen of Weird Eyes and the human Emperor Lao Deng. Her life force was already in danger. It's only a matter of time before you die. At the moment of death, there was no fear in her mind, but she kept recalling the scene when she stabbed Brother Liu through the heart. Her heart aches. Brother Liu, Mayor didn't mean it. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. A pair of strange eyes suddenly opened in the abyss, staring at Su Mei, who was distraught, in endless sorrow, and could die at any time. Child, do you want strength? Do you want to live? Open black lens bracket. I want Brother Liu, close black lens bracket. Dot 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 dot. It was indeed a mistake to hand Su Mei over to the Queen of Weird Eyes. If it weren't for this simulation, I would have seen these things in advance and she would have been very likely to fall into the trap in the future. Some things are always hard to guard against. Liu Qian sighed, with some complicated emotions. Even though he had only seen a simulation, even though it was the simulated clone who was stabbed, even though he knew that Su Mei did not do it on purpose but was being forcibly controlled. But at this moment, he couldn't help but feel more vigilant. He was already a little neurotic, and now he lost someone he could trust again. In the current situation, as long as the Empress of Weird Eyes is not dead, Su Mei, who is supposed to be a trustworthy woman, will be an unstable factor. This is a bomb that could explode at any time. In the future, we must be more cautious. Moreover, even the Empress of Weird Eyes has shown interest in his Supreme Emperor Bone. It seems that until one day, when I am strong enough, I will have to kill the symbol of Empress of Weird Eyes. The more I simulate, the more potential opponents I find who have bad intentions towards me. Ultimately, it's because I'm too weak and people are coveting me. Moreover, deep in the sea near the imperial capital, there is actually a mysterious and strange evil god hidden. These are all hidden deep enough. However, in the end, he was more skilled and escaped from danger. Just as he was sighing with emotion, Liu Ruyue had already come out of the kitchen with 4 dishes and a soup. Liu Qian, it's time to eat. Dot 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 dot. Open black lens bracket Daxia overseas, close black lens bracket. A spatial fluctuation suddenly appeared, and a broken Tang snake head with several figures could be seen wandering in the void, charging in a certain direction. Suddenly, the power of time that enveloped the Tang snake's head condensed by the talisman began to become unstable, and the Tang snake, which was already on the verge of collapse, began to disintegrate. Snap! Liu Ruyue was suddenly swallowed by a space crack and was randomly teleported away. Yi Cheng ignored you and just kept holding on to you. Open black lens bracket puff, close black lens bracket. Suddenly, Yi Cheng spat out a mouthful of blood. His entire body was extremely weak and he was unable to continue to maintain the fighting stars shift. He was completely at his limit and his mind began to become dazed. Is it reaching the limit? Just like this, she unconsciously loosened her hands a little, and you, who were seriously injured and unconscious in her arms, fell instantly and fell into the space crack below. By the time she reacted, you were already unconscious and swallowed by the space crack. Open black lens bracket. No, close black lens bracket. Yi Cheng, who was furious, spat out another mouthful of blood and fainted. Then, he was swallowed by the collapsing space cracks. Bang! The shadow of the Tang snake is completely shattered. The 3 people who were originally escaping, by chance, were separated. Dot 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 dot. Open black lens bracket tear, close black lens bracket. You are swallowed by the space crack, and your body seems to be cut into pieces, but your unconscious body obviously cannot feel it. At this moment, a powerful self-healing force is enveloping your heart. You can faintly see a phoenix reborn from the ashes hovering, maintaining vitality and repairing quickly. You are in a very bad situation now. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. A golden yang god walked out of the body, looking towards the direction of the Great Xia Empire with complicated eyes. It's been so long, and Lao Deng hasn't caught up yet. It looks like the plan was successful. The 2 ghosts must have started a fight. It was worth it for me to take such a risk. I took that blow head on. I'm afraid that thing must be a fairy-level weapon. If it weren't for the phoenix's self-healing ability, I'm afraid I would have been in trouble. If that knife had missed, and if he hadn't risked his life to survive, he would have been unable to hide it from the others, and he would not have been able to force out the mark from the Queen of the Weird Eyes. The whole plan might have been broken. However, at the moment, I have successfully escaped from Daxia. This time, in order to leave Daxia, you paid a great price. Among them, the most serious one is the Supreme Emperor Bone. Under your gaze in the Yang God state, the Supreme Emperor Bone, held by your physical body is still covered with countless cracks, with no signs of recovery. The self-explosion, just now was not to scare Lao Deng, but was for real. You would rather explode than let Lao Deng take this thing away. If it happens again, the Supreme Emperor's bone will be broken. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. At this moment, you moved your mind, and the Supreme Emperor Bone, tightly grasped in your physical body suddenly turned into flowing light and returned to your back, fusing with your flesh and blood. A domineering golden light emerges from your body, transforming into talismans, blocking the surrounding space and protecting your body. The physical body is not in good condition. It seems that things have gone too far. I can only let him heal on his own. As the Yang God, I will protect the physical body. You, in the Yang Shen state, sighed, then turned into a stream of light and returned to your physical body. At this moment, although you have the ability to take your body away from this chaotic void, you really don't want to. You would rather stay for a while longer and stay away from the Great Xia Empire as much as possible. At the same time, it also gives your body more time to recover. After an unknown amount of time, you fell from the turbulent flow of the void and landed on a reef by the sea. You remained motionless and showed no signs of waking up. You in the Yang Shen state reappear, looking at the body in front of you with a dim gaze. The heart that was pierced and crushed by the black knife has completely recovered, but there is still a trace of black air left, and it has not been completely repaired. What on earth is the black knife of the Queen of Weird Eyes? The remaining black energy can't even eliminate the evil repelling ability of the dragon and phoenix talent. Is it some kind of curse? That's troublesome. You frowned, and saw that the black energy had some kind of corrosiveness, which seemed to corrode your heart bit by bit and spread to your whole body, but it intentionally avoided the Supreme Emperor Bone. Right now, the Emperor's Bone is in a special situation, so it's not convenient to use. Also, which overseas kingdom or empire is this? I hope to reach a human empire, not fall into a strange alien race, or one controlled by an overseas evil god. Chapter 224. Mother Goddess of Disaster. In the Yang Shen state, you can clearly sense the magnificent forest covering hundreds of miles, as well as some signs of human existence. Obviously, this should be a human kingdom. But you did not lose your vigilance because of this, because, from what you have learned before, the situation in overseas countries is not as serious as that in Daxia. The Great Xia Empire is suppressed by the Emperor Lao Deng. Those evil gods dare not act rashly. If they dare to attack easily, they will be attacked with heavy punches, mainly brutal. Not to mention the weird evil god, even your own son has been hit hard and killed several times. In comparison, the situation in overseas human countries is a bit confusing. The Great Xia Empire is on the path of self-cultivation and immortality. There is an old emperor above them who is suppressing them. Almost no one dares to show up. Anyone who shows up will die, no matter if they are from the empire or outsiders. Western countries are following the path of becoming a god through faith. For an empire to exist, several gods form groups of believers to fight for faith and fight each other. There are also some inhuman evil gods causing trouble, as well as the involvement of strange alien races. It is no exaggeration to say that it is in dire straits. Some powerful evil gods or strange alien races will secretly control the human kingdom to profit for themselves and offer blood sacrifices. Of course, this is a privilege for medium and large kingdoms and above. The real evil gods don't even look down on those ruined small countries and tribes. Right now, you are not afraid of ordinary, lower gods, and weird emperors. Even if you encounter middle gods and weird emperors, you can still defeat them. But once you encounter a superior god, or a weird master, there is no other way except to self-destruct the emperor's bones. However, beings of this level are comparable to the celestial beings in the Great Xia Empire's cultivation system. They are rare, so it should not be difficult to encounter them. In theory, Lao Deng should also be at this level. Hey, someone is coming. Just when you were about to use the power of the Yang God to search for the situation, you suddenly sensed several figures approaching this side. And those figures were wearing familiar black robes, and they looked exactly like the believers you had hidden in the altar in the kingdom of sands before. Your pupils shrank, and a strange smile appeared on your face unconsciously. It seems that I have won the jackpot. Dot 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 dot. Two figures wearing black robes with a pair of strange blood-red eyes are approaching the seaside. Although their faces cannot be seen clearly, judging from their figures, they should be two women. The great, mother goddess of disaster, has not responded to us recently. Is there something wrong? Or is it that our faith is not strong enough and the sacrifices we offer cannot please our God? During this period, not only our God, but even the holy envoy has rarely shown up. The God's gift we have received has become less and less, and the power in our bodies has begun to weaken. The feeling of losing power is like having countless bugs crawling inside our bodies. Is the God dissatisfied with us? Perhaps we need to find more sacrifices that can satisfy the God, in exchange for the God's pleasure. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. These two followers of the evil God seem to be extremely distressed because of some recent events. As believers of the evil God, all their power comes from the evil God's gift. Whether their power is strong or not depends on the evil God's thoughts. Once the evil God no longer grants them new powers, the divine power in their bodies will be exhausted, and they will gradually become ordinary people. But this is undoubtedly unacceptable to them who have already tasted the extraordinary power and started to fall. However, this is not what bothers them the most, there are other troubles. The king of the kingdom of sands seems to be a little dishonest recently. The barbaric church here has also begun to conflict with our people. Are they planning to drive us away? That damn idiot Pasati, seeing that my God hasn't shown any signs of miracles in this period of time, has he started to get restless. He thinks he can compete with my God with the so-called God of savagery. If my God hadn't intervened, the kingdom of golden sands would have been gone long ago. How could he, the king, still be here? I heard that the Great Xia Empire in the east seemed to have encountered some kind of change some time ago. Many strong men fell and its strength was greatly damaged. During this period, Emperor Pasa actually began to secretly mobilize the army and wanted to invade. Damn, that brainless and arrogant lunatic. My God had already issued a divine order back then, not to easily provoke the attention of that behemoth. That is an existence that even our God fears. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Dot 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 dot. At this moment, the two people who were whispering cautiously did not realize that there was a young god beside them, listening to their conversation openly. Mother Goddess of Disaster, is this the name of the mysterious evil god who is cooperating with Chen Ang and lurking in the Great Xia Palace? Is her evil god position, disaster? Your face can't help but show a trace of solemnity. Unlike the true immortals on land who condense the power of laws, the Western god system condenses its own, divine duties. These priesthoods are all strange and varied, but all have great power, just like the hunting god skull you got before, which contains the hunting priesthood. Although it is not very strong, it has some special magical effects. In comparison, the priesthood of disaster is obviously a bit too powerful. You know, the more powerful the priesthood, the more difficult it is to condense. The mother goddess of disaster is at worst a mid-level god, and may even be a high-level god. But I haven't heard of this guy before. He's hiding quite well. He hasn't appeared for a while. Could it be that he was seriously injured by Lao Deng before? He should be recuperating. It seems that the human Emperor Lao Deng is still firmly in the T0 position of this version. Those who fall into his hands will suffer a bad fate. Also, Pasati of the Jinsha kingdom is in a cooperative relationship with Chen Ang and the mother goddess of disaster. No, it's more of a subordinate relationship. I'm afraid that his king is no different from a puppet. Is he planning to get rid of control now? Perhaps, this is an opportunity. Chapter 225, Chen Ang is dead. At this moment, under the gaze of your young god, the details of the two evil god followers in front of you have been almost completely exposed. The strength of these two believers is not strong, but not weak either. One is equivalent to a person who has entered the saint realm, and the other is equivalent to a person who has just entered the heaven realm. However, the realms of these two people were accumulated by the external force of faith, and were not truly honed. If we follow the Daxia cultivation system, then it is just pure magic tricks piled up from the dregs. It can be used to scare people, but forget about the rest. In terms of willpower, I'm afraid even some warriors who have gone through iron and blood training can't compare to him. Just when the two evil god believers were worrying about how to get the gift of our god, they suddenly seemed to hear some strange whispers in their ears. Your offerings during this period are too little. The mother goddess of disaster is not satisfied. Perhaps you can also sacrifice Pasati, who attempted to betray our god. Then, my god will grant you more gifts. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. That sudden voice seemed to have a power that moved people's hearts, making them subconsciously convinced little by little, and then sinking into it, unable to extricate themselves. The two evil god believers were stunned and stood there motionless, as if they were disturbed by something. Their wills began to be baptized by nonsense, and began to waver. The weaker evil god believer had completely fallen, but the other stronger and more curvaceous evil god believer still wanted to struggle. His golden hair and pure face were revealed under his robe. Open black lens bracket. Who are you? Close black lens bracket. Look who I am. You are in the Yang Shen state and you reveal your figure with a smile, but in the eyes of the other party, your face has become that of Chen Ang. You transformed into Chen Ang's appearance with thousands of changes, and gained some of Chen Ang's characteristics. You have obtained the split feature, which allows you to split into a clone with 30% of your power. The clone shares the same memory as the original. Open black lens bracket split, close black lens bracket. You still smile on the surface, but you are a little surprised in your heart, realizing that this is why Chen Ang has so many clones. Male angel. The blonde girl screamed. You successfully deceived the other party, making him completely believe that you are Chen Ang, and under the guise of an oracle, you ask the blonde girl to gather people to assassinate King Pasati of the Jinsha kingdom. My god has now reached a critical moment and is undergoing a transformation. He needs more sacrifices and blood sacrifices. Pasati is one of the designated targets. You want to use this to cause civil unrest in the Kingdom of Sands, so that both sides can fight and fish in troubled waters. From the conversation between the two just now, you already know that the disaster mother goddess and Chen Ang have not appeared for some time, which is why you dare to do this. Moreover, with the blessing of nonsense, the chances of success are not small. After being fooled by you, the followers of the blonde girl instantly became excited and said that they would go back and gather their forces to kill Pasati. Lord Saint Envoy, once Pasati dies, the god of savagery will not let it go. You smiled and said you were brave enough to do it. The god of savagery will have the mother goddess of disaster to solve it. Open black lens bracket. Child, what's your name? Close black lens bracket. Saint Envoy, my name is Dorothy. Dorothy, I just saw a wounded human warrior ahead. If you can send him to the altar and sacrifice him to the mother goddess of disaster, I think she will give you a generous reward. Seeing that the other party has been fooled by you, you are ready to take the opportunity to use your physical body to fish and find out the location of the altar where the half of the emperor's bone is hidden. Even before, although you could be sure that the altar was located in the Kingdom of Sands, you could not determine its exact location. You have thought about searching Dorothy's soul, but you are afraid that something might go wrong and trigger some extremes, attracting the mysterious evil god, mother goddess of disaster. Who knows if this thing has some kind of connection with his believers. Lord Holy Envoy, have you forgotten that Dorothy has just been promoted to the 8th level Divine Envoy and is only in charge of the church's prison? She does not know the location of the altar. Every time she goes to the altar, she is covered with a black cloth that obscures her 5 senses. In the entire Church of Disaster, only the 4 holy envoys and your deputy, Raphael, know the location of the altar. By the way, your deputy Raphael will come to the prison in a few days to take away some prisoners. Can Dorothy apply to go to the altar with him then? Dorothy suddenly looks at you expectantly. You smiled and nodded, but you couldn't help frowning in your heart. Obviously, the situation was a little unexpected. After a split second of thinking, you let Dorothy take your body away and prepared to imprison it in the prison, waiting for Raphael's arrival to see if you can sneak into the altar and take back the emperor's bones without alerting the mother goddess of disaster. Of course, you are not stupid, so you naturally used some tricks on the unconscious body, and your young spirit also escaped into it. Soon, Dorothy and another believer took your body back to Disha, the capital of the Jinsha Kingdom Palace, and locked it in a secret prison, ready to wait for Raphael's arrival. Besides you, there are other prisoners around the prison cell. They are obviously to be used for blood sacrifice. During this period, you in the Yongshen state have been in the physical body, continuing to repair the physical body, trying to recover as much as possible and dissipate the black energy. The black energy has been lingering, causing the body to reach some strange limits, and began to undergo some inhuman transformation. Open black lens bracket, but this is not what you want, close black lens bracket. You don't want to be the next Lao Deng. But after several days, the so-called deputy envoy Raphael still did not come. On the contrary, Dorothy has gathered a lot of people and is ready to take action against Pasati. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. You walk out of your physical body in the state of Yongshen, holding a skull with a hole in it and a mutilated corpse in your hands. That corpse is exactly Chen Ang's clone in the imperial capital. It can be used to activate the skull of the god of hunting and search for the whereabouts of the other party. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. The body of the clone was refined and turned into a blood bead, which was swallowed by the skull of the god of hunting. At this moment, you have already noticed something is wrong, and you suspect that the other party may be causing trouble again, so you simply want to locate Chen Ang's position and find the altar. Where is Chen Ang now? Kaka, dead. Chapter 226. The Truth About Death, the Location of the Altar. Open black lens bracket Chen Ang died, close black lens bracket. Even you were a little surprised to hear this news from the hunting god skull. This old coin, who had been hiding behind the scenes and calculating everyone from the beginning to the end, actually died like this. How is this possible? You should know that in your heart, the other party is almost second only to the Emperor Lao Deng. Snap. You slapped the hunting god's skull in your hand and asked again, but still got the same answer. How is it possible? This guy hid so deeply, with a bunch of clones outside. Even in the last simulation, Yi Cheng didn't kill this guy, and now he is dead. Who in the kingdom of sands can? Wait, could it be that she was killed by the mother goddess of disaster? Chen Ang must have seen the mother goddess of disaster being severely injured by the human emperor Lao Deng, and wanted to kill her, but was killed instead. Considering that these two suddenly disappeared mysteriously some time ago, it is not impossible. After making the inference, you suddenly understood that Chen Ang, this old coin, wanted to learn from the old Deng, but ended up failing. Open black lens bracket. This is really good news, close black lens bracket. I think the mother goddess of disaster has not appeared for a while, and something went wrong. I'm afraid she was tricked. However, in addition to this, there is another good news coming. Then Chen Ang's deputy envoy Raphael is here. This blonde, blue-eyed middle-aged man who was killed by you twice before obviously received an order and came here to take away the sacrifices for your blood sacrifice. However, the deputy envoy's face was full of fatigue, and his eyes were blue, as if he had encountered something bad. But when he was holding the prison cell for the sacrifice, he was a little confused. Because all the disaster believers who were supposed to protect this place are gone. At this moment, he had no idea that Dorothy had led these disaster believers to assassinate King Pasati of the Golden Sands. What's going on? Where are the people guarding this place? Where are they? Why don't you get out of here before this saint envoy? Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. Before he could finish his curse, a big hand grabbed his head and smashed it against the wall. Blood was flowing from all 7 orifices, and the skin on his face was worn off. He was disfigured on the spot. But before he could cry out in pain, the next scene made him stand there in a daze, because he saw a familiar face. That was the face of Chen Ang. Saint Envoy, you didn't die at the hands of Mother Goddess. At this moment, Raphael was almost frightened to death. He clearly remembered the scene where his immediate superior was killed. Hearing this, you disguised yourself as Chen Ang, and completely verified your previous guess. Chen Ang, the old coin, was indeed killed. Seeing that Raphael was fooled, you simply used the identity of Chen Ang and lied to deceive and intimidate the guy in front of you. Soon, you will know what happened before. More than a month ago, the avatar of the disaster mother goddess left in the Great Xia Palace was destroyed, and was also punched by the human emperor Lao Deng from a distance, causing serious injuries. The injured, mother goddess of disaster, ordered her followers to start looking for prey for her blood sacrifice. But when he saw that the mother goddess of disaster was injured, Chen Ang had a small idea. He wanted to imitate Chen Zan in the past and intended to take over the body of the mother goddess of disaster. He specially made trouble at the blood sacrifice ceremony and added some spice to the mother goddess of disaster. However, someone reported it, and the matter was eventually exposed and discovered by the mother goddess of disaster, resulting in Chen Ang's death. And the whistleblower is Raphael in front of us. Chen Ang was indirectly killed by such a small person. That's why he was so scared when he saw you transformed into Chen Ang just now. In addition to the news of Chen Ang's death, the location of the altar where the half of the emperor's bones were hidden was also correct. The location of the altar is right below the tombs of the kings of the Jinsha kingdom, and the other 3 holy envoys are guarding it. Although the 3 saint envoys are not as good as Saint Envoy Chen, they can indeed use the power of my god to fuse and transform into forbidden disaster beasts, which have power not weaker than that of ordinary lower-level gods. The 3 holy envoys asked me to come and get some more offerings for the sacrifice, because they have not been able to contact the mother goddess in the past few days, but Pasati ordered them to be expelled and seize the things under the tomb. The 3 holy envoys believe that they are no match for the barbaric god, and hope to seek the power of the mother goddess. Raphael, who was frightened to the point of madness and beaten half to death, told everything he knew. Snap! You knocked Raphael unconscious, removed his 5 limbs, and turned him into an unconscious vegetable, but you didn't kill him, to avoid alerting the enemy. Now that we know the situation, we can't just sit there and wait for death. It's time to take the initiative. Dorothy led people to assassinate Pasati, which is just right to attract the attention of the so-called god of savagery. I only need to kill the 3 holy envoys as quickly as possible to get the emperor's bone. Right now, I don't know the situation of the mother goddess of disaster. Once I get the emperor's bone, I will leave first and hide. After I have completely refined it and broken through to the land true immortal, it will be my turn to give an explanation to the others. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. You turned into a stream of light, returned to your body, and began to wake up. But when you wake up, you can sense that your body has undergone some strange changes. Your originally dragon-like and phoenix-like appearance has begun to show a slight distortion. The trace of black energy hidden in your heart is gradually changing your body, and it is beginning to become weird. I don't know if it will eventually turn into the ugly dead appearance of the human emperor Lao Deng. Once we find the remaining half of the emperor's bone, I think this problem can be easily solved. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. You turn into a flowing shadow and rush towards the location of the altar. Just when you started planning, Dorothy had already entered the kingdom of Golden Sands with a group of fanatics of the evil god, preparing to assassinate King Pasati, who was singing and dancing and enjoying the banquet and dance. Subscribe to Chinese Novel Audiobook YouTube channel. Chapter 227, Savage God. In a mysterious secret place hidden under the tomb of the Jinsha kingdom, 3 figures wearing dark high-level bishop robes gathered together, seemingly discussing something. I don't know what the mother goddess' current situation is. The traitor Chen Ang actually dared to disrupt the mother goddess' great blood sacrifice and secretly took the evil blood of an evil god. The blood of the evil god contains their mad bloodline, which is a curse to all existence. I don't know where that madman got it from. And that madman, where did he find his helpers from? He was able to cause harm to the mother goddess. He is not a true god yet, but the power he unleashed is more terrifying than that of a true god, especially that blood knife. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Where did that idiot Raphael go? He's been gone for so long, why hasn't he come back yet? Suddenly, a short and fat holy envoy frowned and spoke impatiently. The other 2 looked at each other and said nothing. This short and fat holy envoy had been at odds with Chen Ang before, but she had always been suppressed and did not dare to act rashly. She had to obey him. Now that Chen Ang is dead, she is extremely disgusted with Raphael, who was once Chen Ang's confidant. However, due to Raphael's previous contributions to the mother goddess, he cannot be killed easily, but some small moves are naturally inevitable. It is obvious that he is just trying to take advantage of the situation. Boom. At this moment, there was a sudden commotion in the Jinsha palace, accompanied by sounds of fighting and screams. It seemed that Dorothy and the others' assassination attempt had succeeded. Pasati is dead. It was the people from the Church of Disaster who killed our king. Kill them, kill them. Church of Disaster, you lunatics, you are so bold. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. This secret realm is not far from the kingdom of Golden Sands. The three saint envoys were naturally the first to sense the sudden outbreak of battle and noise from the outside world. Especially the furious roar at the end, which was faintly mixed with a sense of divine power. It was obviously the god of savagery, worshipped by the kingdom of sands. Open black lens bracket. Then, the three of them were stunned, close black lens bracket. What happened? Why did Pasati die? And he died at the hands of the Church of Disaster. Who did it? They don't remember giving such orders. Bang. At this time, the passage to the secret realm was suddenly opened, and a figure walked in from outside. He was wearing Raphael's deputy envoy clothes, and the shadow of the hood covered his face, so his appearance could not be seen clearly. Raphael, you be asterisk 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 D, you are finally back. I asked you to bring back the sacrifices, so why did you come back empty-handed? And how did Pasati get assassinated? Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. The visitor suddenly raised his head, and an oriental face instantly appeared under his hood, with a powerful and domineering pressure, like a giant dragon overlooking them. Open black lens bracket roar, close black lens bracket. A giant dragon Dharma image that condensed into substance instantly appeared, shocking the three people in front of them, and severely impacting their spiritual world. The person walked past them expressionlessly, ignored them, and walked towards a huge stone door in front of them. The altar for blood sacrifice was inside. Puff, puff, puff. The flesh and blood of the three evil gods suddenly exploded, leaving only three skeletons standing there, motionless, their souls being captured and devoured directly. From the beginning to the end, you didn't give them a chance to merge and transform. Now, after determining the target, anyone who dares to stand in your way must die. Next, everything should be completely complete. At this moment, you are looking at the huge stone door in front of you, feeling a surge of emotions, and punch out, instantly smashing everything. This time, I can finally get the complete Emperor bone. Instantly, the stone door shattered, and a huge blood-red altar with countless corpses instantly came into view. The air was also filled with countless disgusting stench. But the next moment, your face suddenly became gloomy. It's because the half of the Emperor's bone that was supposed to be placed on the bloody altar disappeared. Who did this? Where is my Emperor bone? Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. You instantly appear on the altar, and can vaguely sense the remaining aura of the half-broken Emperor bone. Even the Emperor bone in your body becomes somewhat active. Snap. With a cold face, you began to look through the memory fragments left by the three holy envoys, and soon discovered something strange. More than a month ago, Chen Ang hired a helper to fight against the mother goddess of disaster. The helper held a blood knife. Could it be Yi Cheng? She actually found the kingdom of sands. But how could she be involved with Chen Ang? After Chen Ang died, Yi Cheng also ran away, but the mother goddess of disaster wanted to devour half of the emperor's bone to recover from her injuries. However, she found that the emperor's bone on the altar had been replaced with an empty shell at some point. Half of the emperor's bones were hidden by Chen Ang. All along, the ones placed on the altar were fakes. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. One after another, explosive news emerged in your mind, almost making your face distorted. At this moment, you are not interested in why Yi Cheng appeared in the Sands Kingdom more than a month ago. You just want to know one thing. If the half of the emperor's bone was really hidden by Chen Ang, who would you ask for it? You know, Chen Ang is already dead. Who knows where the other party hid the things? As the saying goes, the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. Ha ha ha, is fate playing a joke on me? Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. At this moment, the secret realm was suddenly torn apart, and a terrifying being that looked like a giant orc suddenly rushed in, with a ferocious face and a pressure from a peak lower god. You scum of the disaster church, I have found you. You dared to kill Pasati, I will kill you. The visitor turned out to be the patron saint of the kingdom of Sands, the god of savagery. After killing Dorothy and other members of the disaster cult, they rushed over here, wanting to catch them all in one fell swoop, but ended up blocking you. Do you know that I'm really angry right now? Chapter 228, Human Emperor Form. Your face was gloomy, and your eyes were cold as you looked at the god of savagery in front of you. You were already holding back a lot of anger, and it exploded in an instant. Open black lens bracket nothing that is not eye-catching, close black lens bracket. Transform. Human Emperor Form. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. You transform into the human Emperor Chen Zan through various changes and gain some characteristics. You have obtained part of the Supreme Emperor body. Open black lens bracket tear, close black lens bracket. Your face begins to rot and pus begins to flow, your eyes turn green, your skin becomes dry and wrinkled, your body becomes taller, and you wear a dragon robe. A steady stream of terrifying power begins to emerge from your body, making you feel like you can smash everything in the world with one punch, as if even the immortal weapon can't do anything to you. Your mind begins to split, as if you are suffering from schizophrenia, as if there are two of you who are at odds with each other, confronting each other. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. The black energy in the heart that was originally somewhat unbridled seemed to be frightened, trembling, and instantly calmed down. Is this my power? It is so powerful. ... Very angry. I am even more angry. You damned Oriental, how dare you kill Pasati? Do you know that he is my most beloved, male pet? Otherwise, why would I stay here? At this moment, the savage god was also very angry, and some vicious words came out of his mouth. This powerful god at the peak of the lower gods seems to have some special quirks. That's why it was so furious and rushed over to kill me. But the person in front of him is even more angry than him. This clearly shows that they don't take this Western god seriously. Wait, you seem to be pretty good looking too. Suddenly, the angry barbaric god saw your face and his mind trembled, and most of his anger dissipated. But the next moment, it saw a horrifying scene. It saw your appearance changing rapidly and becoming rotten, and a horrifying aura emerged from your body. Perhaps because he was born in the remote kingdom of Jinsha Kingdom, this country bumpkin and barbarian obviously does not know a certain Great Xia Emperor. Otherwise, if it were any other Western god or strange evil god, upon seeing your rotten face of the human emperor, they would definitely turn around and run away without making a sound. Open black lens bracket. Boom. Close black lens bracket. The savage god who rushed in angrily felt his scalp tighten, and then, his eyes blurred, and his huge body was forcibly grabbed by a hand and dragged in fiercely. Ant, you are worthy enough to look me in the face. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. The huge orc head of the barbaric god was directly blown up by your punch, and turned into countless divine lights. The huge body slammed heavily onto the altar below, and let out a painful howl. Open black lens bracket. Ah. Close black lens bracket. The power of this punch almost stunned the savage god. His body was no worse than that of some middle-level gods, but it was blown up so easily. The pain at this moment can hardly hide the shock in my heart, and a hint of fear. It's broken. This is the steel plate. At this moment, it's not just the savage god who is shocked, even you have a hint of surprise in your eyes. I seem to be too powerful. No, it's not that I am too powerful, but the god in front of me seems too weak. Compared with the Great Xia Empire, this strength is like going from purgatory mode to easy mode. Originally, you were already prepared to use most of your trump cards for a fierce battle. Closing square bracket. After all, the realm of the savage god in front of him is equivalent to the peak of the human immortals in Daxia, close to the realm of earthly immortals. However, the result at this moment is somewhat beyond your expectations. At this moment, you feel like you have just walked out of the Washi village, escaped from the shadow of the novice village boss, Renwang Laoding, and found that everyone outside is a weakling. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. At this moment, the savage god below suddenly explodes, holding a huge divine axe in his hand and chops towards you. The huge head that was blown up is also slowly recovering. For gods, as long as the faith is not severed, they will not die easily. How dare you be distracted in front of this god? Go to hell. Seeing that you were somewhat dazed, the savage god instantly became alert and wanted to take the opportunity to kill you. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket clang, close black lens bracket. The huge divine axe hits your head hard, sparks fly, and a gap appears on the axe. Savage god. What the hell is this monster? Even divine weapons can't break its defense. How can we defeat it? Open black lens bracket. Escape, close black lens bracket. The barbaric god's eyes were about to pop out, and he looked extremely funny. He turned around and ran without hesitation. Want to leave? Did I let you go? You snorted coldly, and suddenly a powerful thunder talisman appeared in your hand, exuding a sense of oppression from the vast power of heaven. Immortal Scroll 9 Mysterious Sky Dome returning to the ruins divine thunder. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. The terrifying Guishu divine thunder instantly affects your body and merges into your physical strength. Then, you instantly turn into thunder, and your speed increases by more than 100 times. This terrifying method of increasing speed, if it were your previous body, it would be instantly burned and collapsed. But at this moment, in the human emperor form, you are just right. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. You instantly appear in front of the fleeing savage god. The Guishu divine thunder in your hand instantly turned into a huge lightning spear, which was extremely fast and instantly pierced the chest of the god of savagery, knocking him down directly and smashing him on the altar. Ah! Damn Oriental! Do you really think that I am afraid of you? The god of savagery was also completely enraged, and his rationality was also interfered with by his priesthood of savagery, and his physical strength began to increase continuously. The body of a terrifying monster that keeps expanding and looks like a giant meatball is coming towards you from above. Open black lens bracket die for this god, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket 3 minutes later, close black lens bracket. The stubborn god of savagery had his head blown up, and the god core was dug out, successfully realizing the true meaning of death. Closing square bracket. It's a pity that it didn't advance to become the god of death. Snap. You stand on the altar, stained with the blood of the gods, stepping on the body of the gods, your face is calm, and the anger in your heart has mostly dissipated. This guy is usually so brave. Open black lens bracket whirl, close black lens bracket. The blood of the savage god began to flow, silently flowing into the altar. Chapter 229, An unexpected turn of events. Chen Ang appears again. You ended your human emperor form, and the power in your body quickly dissipated. An inexplicable feeling of emptiness and fatigue swept over you. At this moment, you are tired and can't help but feel a little emotional. Since you obtained the 1,000 changes magical power, it has almost become your core skill. When paired with nonsense, it can produce unimaginable effects. But what comes from transformation is always illusory. I don't know when I can get the complete, Supreme Emperor bone. By then, if I can get Lao Deng's Supreme Emperor body, the two will be combined into one. You dare not imagine how powerful you will be. I think this is also the target of that immortal Chen Zan. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been staring at you. The consumption is too great. Compared with the abandoned crown prince form, the human emperor form consumes at least dozens of times more energy. In just a short while, my spiritual energy has been almost drained out. However, although it consumes a lot of energy, the effect is also significant. Currently, among the several major forms dominated by thousands of changes, the human emperor form is the strongest. Once transformed, the strength and defense almost reach a terrifying level. Killing ordinary lower-level gods is almost like playing. Even an existence close to a mid-level god like the savage god can only withstand some attacks, and can't escape the threat of death. Even though he only gained some of the characteristics, it's no wonder that Lao Deng, who has a true, supreme emperor body, is so tough. This old fellow actually gave me a big surprise. Originally, I was going to use the new immortal talisman I learned from the Tai talisman to deal with the god of savagery this time. However, the level of that immortal talisman is too high and the consumption is too great. Even I may not be able to use it. When Yang Shen of the National Master's Mansion broke through the realm of Immortal Talisman Master, you also comprehended a new immortal talisman from the 3000 immortal talismans. Moreover, what you comprehended was not a primary immortal talisman like Zon Fuzzy, but a high-level immortal talisman, a powerful talisman belonging to the celestial immortal level. Even among the Tai talisman, it is one of the strongest. It's just that you have been hiding this trump card and have not used it. As for the way of talismans, I have already comprehended the 3 flowers gathering at the head. Now all I need to do is condense my immortal body and break through to become a true immortal on land. But right now, there is a problem with the body, and the emperor bone is almost broken, which is another big trouble. Bathing in the divine blood, you now feel your body agitated and beginning to show signs of strengthening. Although your eyes flicker, you are thinking about the next arrangement. My anger has mostly been dissipated, and I still have to return to my rationality. Right now, half of the emperor's bone is missing. It was hidden by that old coin Chen Zan. God knows where it is. It will be a hassle to find it. But the threat from Lao Deng has not been resolved yet. Moreover, when you were in the Great Xia Palace before, you indirectly offended the Empress of Weird Eyes, and the Mother Goddess of Disaster. These 2 strange evil gods will not let you go easily. In the final analysis, it's still not enough strength. Puff. You dug out the core of the god of savagery, which contained the power of his divine duties, and swallowed it without hesitation. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. Before the power contained in the divine core can burst, you, the Supreme Emperor Bone, suddenly bursts out with a terrifying devouring suction force, instantly sucking the entire divine core dry. Instantly, the cracks on the Supreme Emperor Bone showed signs of recovery, but the speed was still a little slow. If I want to restore the Supreme Emperor Bone, I'm afraid I'll need to kill a few more gods. This place is the territory of the Mother Goddess of Disaster after all. If I kill so many of her followers, who knows if she will sense it and come here. If that happens, I will be in trouble again. Just in case, you decide to take the savage god's body and the divine axe, and then run away first. These 2 items can be used to refine divine tools, and their value is not low. Whether it is for future use or for trading, they are both valuable bargaining chips. But when you were about to take the corpse away, you found that the bloated body of the god of savagery seemed a little thin and shrunken. You reacted and released your divine consciousness instantly, and immediately saw a strange scene. The blood of the god of savagery flowed silently and was swallowed by the altar below. As the divine blood was swallowed, a mass of bloody mud began to emerge little by little from the center of the altar, as if it had life. What the hell is this? Your eyes narrowed, and you subconsciously thought it was the trick of the Mother Goddess of Disaster, but you immediately realized that something was wrong, and your Emperor's eyes did not react. Moreover, you sensed a familiar aura from the blood mud. That is the scent of Chen Eng's old coin. Yes, it can't be wrong, it's him. For some unknown reason, you stopped your steps and did not choose to take away the body of the god of savagery. Instead, you let the altar continue to absorb. You want to see what this old coin is doing, whether it is dead or alive, and what it can do after it is dead. You son of ABCH, if you're still alive, I'll search your soul. You dare to hide my emperor's bones, you'll have something to worry about. Open black lens bracket crash, close black lens bracket. Under your gaze, the body of the savage god quickly shrivels up, leaving only a layer of greasy skin. The bloody mud also began to expand wildly, and soon became as tall as a person, gradually becoming clearer, and finally turned into the appearance of Chen Ang. He still had that hypocritical look of gentleness and elegance, but there seemed to be a trace of unwillingness in his eyes, staring at you. When you see this scene later, I will be dead. You are such a lucky guy. Congratulations on triggering the treasure I left here. To trigger this treasure, you need enough divine blood. If possible, I hope that the divine blood is from that damned symbol of disaster. Chapter 230. Chen Ang dies. The emperor's bones appear. That damn sign. This is a residual image. You narrowed your eyes and stared at the Chen Ang in front of you, not really believing that this old coin would leave such a thing in advance. Open black lens bracket. I'm afraid there's something wrong. Close black lens bracket. Emperor's pupil. Open. Your eyes suddenly burst out with a domineering light that sees through everything, instantly piercing through the essence of Chen Ang in front of you. At this moment, under your gaze, the Chen Ang in front of you is no longer a human, but a sticky creature that looks like bloody snot, without thoughts, without soul, and only a residual memory. However, at the back door of the bloody snot, there is a subtle black shadow. According to your Yang Shen's perception, there is a miniature split soul body that is in a certain state. It is Chen Ang. Open black lens bracket. Finally, I caught you. Close black lens bracket. An evil smile suddenly appeared on your face, full of malice. If it weren't for the blessing of Emperor's eyes and Yang Shen, it might not be discovered. Old coin, you are not dead after all. Are you pretending to be stupid? Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. Perhaps your gaze was too intense. With a sharp and stinging pain, the pocket soul hidden in the bloody snot was passively awakened and slowly opened its eyes. When he saw you, his expression became extremely interesting and kept changing. He seemed a little bit unbelievable. Obviously, he didn't expect that he would be exposed, and he didn't expect that it would be you. Uncle, do you want to come out by yourself, or should I help you? After hearing your threatening words, the miniature soul was silent for a moment, then sighed, as if it had accepted its fate. Open black lens bracket swish, close black lens bracket. The dull look on the face of Chen Ang in front of you begins to become natural, and a spiritual light appears in his eyes. He looks at you with a complicated look. Nephew, we meet again. He had imagined many scenarios. He might encounter disaster, he might meet second brother, he might. But he really didn't expect that he would fall into your hands. Perhaps, from the beginning to the end, in his heart, you have never been a threat. You are still the devil from outer space that he could control. Unfortunately, things are changing now. Chen Qian, can you give me a way out? I know what you want. I can tell you where that thing is. I can also tell you a secret that can be used to deal with the second brother. With him, you can have an extra helper, and the chance of defeating the opponent can be increased by several %. By the way, I also know a secret about the Emperor's bone, you will definitely be interested. I am now just a fragmented soul, without most of my original body's memories. I don't remember much, and I can't be of much use to you. And you've ended up like this. Leave me. Chen Ang tried his best to persuade you to leave a way out for himself. If possible, he still wanted to live, he didn't want to die yet. Then don't bother with that. I can figure it out myself. Before the other party could finish speaking, you grabbed Chen Ang in front of you, and the power of the Yang God of the true immortal level on land burst out, instantly piercing into the remaining soul of the other party, and searched his soul unscrupulously. You won't believe the other party's lies. If you say too much, you might be plotted against. If something unexpected happens, it's better to search his soul directly. Although soul searching is not safe and may result in the loss of some memory fragments, you can afford this price. I never thought that I would, eventually, die at the hands of you, a demon from outer space. I really can't accept this. Chen Ang has a look of resentment on his painful face, staring at you intently, seemingly extremely unwilling. He had been hiding so secretly, but I didn't expect that you would find him in the end. As long as he is given some time to allow the residual soul to continue to grow, he will definitely be able to recover a little. By then, with the half of the Emperor's bone, there is still a possibility of starting over. But now, all of this has gone to waste. Open black lens bracket boom, close black lens bracket. The soul before your eyes breaks apart, and memories flow out before you like flowing water. Most of these memories are scenes of intrigue, and some of them also include some conversations with the mother goddess of disaster. The relationship between the two parties is extremely special. They actually colluded with each other a long time ago, even before Lao Deng rebelled. Strictly speaking, he also wanted to rebel against Lao Huang, and his tactics were exactly the same as Lao Deng's, except that he was a step slower, had less strength, and less luck. Interestingly, in addition to the mother goddess of disaster, Chen Ang also colluded with other evil gods, and there are other powerful evil gods behind him. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. Soon, an important memory secret suddenly appears before your eyes. As long as the host is immortal, the emperor's bones will not be destroyed. Even if they are destroyed, they will be reborn. Will the emperor's bone be reborn? Closing square bracket. This is the important secret about the emperor's bone that Chen Ang just mentioned. You were stunned at first, a little surprised, and then realized that it was no wonder that Lao Deng had not looked for the missing half of the emperor's bone for so many years. Open black lens bracket Che, close black lens bracket. Are you planning to let it grow again? One by one, you're just picking him up, right? Close black lens bracket. However, none of this is important. What is truly important is the half of the emperor's bone that is hidden. Compared to this, the rest are virtual and can be ignored. You begin to look through the remaining memories, flipping through them. Found it. Suddenly, you saw a blurry picture. Chen Ang hid half of the emperor's bone inside the altar, and then placed a fake one outside. Snap. The memory fragments completely dissipated at this moment. Closing square bracket. Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. The emperor's bones have been hidden in the altar all along. Chen Ang, this old coin, has been playing tricks on me. Your pupils shrank, and you punched out without hesitation, instantly punching a big hole in the altar, revealing a strange secret passage inside. In the dark passage, the emperor's bone, half emitting brilliant golden light and shrouded in black mist, instantly came into view. I found my emperor's bone. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiobook to stay updated with our latest stories, and never miss out on a great listen.